Do you go on stage as EseWey? You go as or Alex?
No, EseWey.
EseWey, ¿verdad?
I don't know if it's if it was a good idea anymore, but you know.
No, if you
I'm already there.
No,
Hey,
yeah, if you
so
got
now-
it, if you got that handle, that's good. Capitalize on it.
Now you have a kid. It's gonna be like, who's your dad? EseWey.
EseWey.
Hey, oye, no seas grosero, hijo. No hables así.
Yeah, I know, but you know, everybody's when someone wants me to do, I don't know, something for a brand or whatever, everybody's like a bit shy of saying EseWey. Hola, Alex, ¿cómo estás? Es que me da pena decirte. Y yo, come on, you can name me whatever you want. It's okay.
Yeah, dude, you're from where are you from? I like the way you say it. What town are you from?
Cuautitlán Izcalli.
Yeah, because I remember when I met you, you're like Cuautitlán Izcalli.
Cuautitlán Izcalli. Those Nahuatl names we have all around.
I think my wife's uncle.
Izcalli.
I think my wife's uncle is from there.
Yeah, it's really big. It's the big county from the state of Mexico. Not the biggest, but it's really big. So, but I was born there in the outskirts.
How's the wife, bro?
She's doing an Instagram live, like everybody at this time.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Mm.
You wanted to look at the camera, or you're okay with everything?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, good.
So Jose, one thing about Alex married a Mexican Jewish girl.
Comedian, okay. Mexican Jewish comedian.
Yeah,
comedian. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had the pleasure of hanging out with them. We were in Cabo. Fucking, my wife saw the video. She sees me in a jacuzzi with a lady. I go, dude, it's his fucking wife. It's his fucking wife. What
she doesn't eat shrimp, so relax.
Yeah, because at that time she had a podcast. Well, it was more like I think it was a podcast, a comedy podcast.
Yeah,
the first comedy podcast ever. Now everybody's doing podcasts, but she was the first.
Yeah, her and Manuna. They used to do it together. Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to have that little jingle. She made me sing that shit. I remember. I'll never forget that.
Manuna y leye. It was like the agenda, like how do you call la cartelera, como los shows de la semana?
Yeah. I got you. I know what I mean. Jose don't know what.
I don't know what that means. So,
but Jose, you know, he's not from this planet.
What is Saint Pablo?
What is Saint Pablo, Jose? What is that?
Oh, Saint Pablo. This is from the Kanye West.
I knew it was gonna be a rapper. You have no life, bro. Come on, bro. You gotta stop dick riding. Expand your horizons. Expand your horizons.
You know,
I like what I like.
I don't listen to a lot of hip hop, but I know there's an album called The Life of Pablo.
Yes, there is.
The one? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Hey, so you know the night, remember we had Juan Carlos Escalante on the show, and I told you that one night we were at El Woco, and it's like fucking 4 a.m. and people are dancing and all that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Alex was one of the people there and his wife, and they were listening to Michael Jackson. Remember I told you they were listening to Michael Jackson? And his wife is like a big fan. She's singing the whole song. And she's like very energetic, bro. I don't know. And Alex is really calm. Like it's fucking they're opposites, bro.
You think so? Well, actually, she's not that energetic now. She uses all that energy to raise the kid. Basically, the kid is, you know, sucking all the energy from us. So we're basically more adults now, and you know what being a parent is like.
Yeah,
right?
No more reefer, man. That's what that means. No more reefer in the house, at least in the house.
I mean, I still do it. I just go to the balcony and have a, you know, but not as often as I, you know, I'd like to.
Dude, I like where you live, man. You live like it's beautiful. It's like the park is right there, so that's like perfect for a parent. You just take your kid across the street.
Well,
you know,
not anymore.
No, it's crazy.
I can take her to the park. It's full of virus all over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. We're moving on. I think we're moving on December now. But you came to the house, right? You came to.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Where are you moving to?
I don't know, somewhere around. But you know, the prices are just getting, and with a kid, you know, it changes everything. So
yeah, somebody told us that the other day. Who told us? Who just told us that?
That the prices were getting up, or
I think, yeah. It was Fran Nevia. Fran Nevia said that he used to live in San Rafael, which is, and he said that area is like freaking getting gentrified, kind of, because I guess the old actors union is in that area, el sindicato.
La ANDA, sí.
and that the fucking prices like doubled and shit, like the rent. I'm like, dude, but your tia owned the building. He's fucking, she raised the rent too. She didn't give a fuck. You out of here, bro. Pay up or move on.
Everything is going, very, very expensive around here. So we will ideally move somewhere around, but everything is so fucking expensive, man. And with all this crisis that's coming with no shows and no, private shows or events or whatever, it's getting very difficult here in Mexico. But anyway, we'll get through.
Yeah, but the good thing about you, Alex, is you're one of the dudes that I know, like, that is like multi-talented. You know how to fucking edit. You know how to produce. You know how to direct. You do comedy. You do music. You you do graphic. You do everything.
Well, I try to. Yeah, thank you.
No, I remember you with your camera, and you can edit. You could do all that shit, and not like you're probably like the only one, and maybe Fran Evia, because Fran knows how to do that shit too. But
you guys
are like the only two that know how to do that.
Especially right now, that's like valuable, like to just jump on any platform, whether it's Instagram, whether it's YouTube, whether it's on any platform, and just able to like edit your own thing. Be like, nah, I did this, I own this, and if you want to help me monetize this, all right.
Exactly. And I don't know why, but it's getting very difficult to get audience for me. I have like like 100,000 likes on Facebook. When I go live, I just get like 30 people connected. I don't know what's happening. It's so weird. And my videos in YouTube get like 100 views and that's it. I don't know. It's very weird. I just don't know how to, maybe I just don't know how to get an audience. I don't know.
Do you interact with them? Because that's what really counts on YouTube.
Course.
Is jumping into the comments, replying to them, all of that. Like even like, one-on-one interactions with them, like on the live podcast or on the Instagrams, like.
Well, I try to. I do a Facebook live show. Have you seen it? It's EseWey on air. Have you?
I haven't seen it. Well, it's because I don't really use Facebook, bro. To be honest.
I know. Facebook is more like for your aunt and your aunt.
Exactly. Facebook is for my mom and my tias. Like,
but you know what?
And then like the morning, like, good morning, Jesus loves you, and.
What I do is I do a Facebook live every day at 8 p.m. Mexico time, and I do it simultaneously on Instagram Live, and then whatever I don't put music on, I put it on YouTube. So
nice.
That's what I do, but I don't know. I just
but look, dude, it's one of those things where we compare what we're doing, what someone else is doing, and you're like, fuck, they're doing this, fuck, they're doing that. Eventually, people will move on from what those people are doing, and they're going to look for something else. And it might be the fact that they just land upon what you're doing. Like, they're like, oh, shit. And like, motherfuckers, I've been doing this for 2 years. It's not like I didn't just start this. I've been doing this for 2 years. But tarde o temprano, sooner or later, they're going to come around, dude. They'll come around. It's just.
Well, I hope so.
Dude, I call
it internet brain. Like when people just forget what happened the last 2 weeks and then like they're onto something else and like, oh, this is new. Or how come I didn't know about this like last year or 2 years ago? And they just catch up.
Today the podcasts among comedians here in Mexico are like everybody's doing their podcast in comedy, whatever they do, interviews or jokes or news or whatever. Yeah. For 2 years, I was doing this podcast called Sabranudista and nobody came. And then I said, okay, it didn't work. So I quit and now everybody's doing their fucking podcast.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. It's the test of time. You just got to keep doing what you're doing, dude. Like you got the talent, bro. You've been doing it.
Oh, thank you.
You've been doing it for a while. You've been doing comedy. You're one of the original comedians.
Oh, well, that's
speaking
coming
of dick
from
writing.
You.
No, aren't you?
Thank you very much.
No, pero tú eres de los originales de Mexico, right? Like you're the first ones to start. You guys started Beer Hall and all that, right?
Yeah. We started the first open mic. There was no open. I mean, what I think it's there was no vision of doing a scene.
Yeah.
Some, specific people just wanted to be famous doing stand-up, but they didn't think about building a scene where more comedians will come and you will have a healthy comedic scene. And what we wanted to do is we need an open mic. There are no open mics in the city. How are you going to have a stand-up comedy scene without an open mic? There was no open mic at all. So we started an open mic, and it's been like 7 years since we started, and I think it's now healthy.
Yeah.
It's not working on my side, but it's healthy.
Yo, but I mean, last I heard that they might be closing Beer Hall down. So what's going on, man, with that? What's the latest info that you know?
Well, what I knew is that before the pandemic, they were doing very well. They had shows, it was packed from Thursday to Saturday. But when this all the quarantine and COVID and shit came, they refurbished all the place, so they spent a lot of money. They didn't know this was gonna last so long, so they refurbished all the place. I've seen pictures; it looks very nice. They moved the stage. It's another bar, but they spent a lot of money, and so they are like, "Oh shit! Now what do? We spent all this money." And I think that the owner of the building wants to sell I don't know if the building or the bar, but they're like, "Oh, come on, I just refurbished this. Please don't sell it." So they were raising money. Yesterday they did an event online to get some money and to trying to get through. But I think they're gonna survive.
See, that's an agreement that he should have. I gotta reach out to Tutti too. I got his number. But that should have been one of those agreements like, hey, man, I'm going to refurbish. Don't fucking come around saying you're going to sell it or raise my rent because I'm the one that's fixing it up, not you. I'm spending this money. But, I mean, you live, you learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And especially in Mexico, people, we're very, laws don't apply. Deals are never deals. It's very weird.
But that's, going back to what you're saying, like the cost of living is going up. Rents are going up, and I'm sure the property values are going up. So I'm thinking that whoever owns that building is probably like, fuck, I can sell that for probably double or triple what I bought it for right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
of course.
The smart thing would be for one of these, comedians that are successful or making money to for them to buy it or some shit and just to keep it, or a group of guys who are making a lot of money put their money together and buy it. But that's the problem with comedians. They don't fucking think, man. They don't think in one of the things when you start making money, the way you stay relevant and the way you stay making money is because your fame is gonna go down. You're not always gonna be at the top, but you gotta invest your money in shit so that you have money always coming in when you're not doing. And plus, you don't want to be doing shows the rest of your life, like on the road, like going on the road, like
who are you, Mick Jagger?
No, there's comedians that are like, you can't be 60. Like, oh, I'm going to fucking
Mick Jagger.
I'm going to Tamaulipas this weekend. Like, fuck that. Dude.
You know what? You just triggered something in me, Cisco. What if, like, in this beer hall, Alex, does like a stand-up to an empty crowd, but in the backdrop, it's like the Zoom audience. So he's not like actually looking at the audience. There's like the audience is behind him, and he's like doing his stand-up with a monitor like on the bottom. Would you think something like that would translate well, or is that still that second off?
They're doing those sort of things like in the 139. You have you ever been to the 139? No. It's just upstairs from Woko.
No, I've never been there.
It's a comedy club now. I mean, Woko went so important in comedy. It's a small bar.
Yeah.
But it went so famous and so important that the whole floor upstairs is now a 200-seat comedy club.
Wow.
The 139. So they're doing those kind of shows, but it's not a stand-up comedy show. They bring famous podcasts like La Cotorrisa or Shishis Palabana, all these podcasts that are now very famous. And they sell a lot of tickets and they do a lot of money from the 139. But I don't know if Beer Hall has I don't know how are they doing that. But they are doing all those kind of shows in the 139.
Well, that's another thing. You don't have to do comedy shows. Do a live podcast from Beer Hall, like en vivo del Beer Hall, and just get the dudes that started like Siete Machos and all that shit, guys that come back and do podcasts like 4 at a time. Not the same, not all 7, because obviously it'd be a fucking, a mess, but 4 guys here, 3 guys there, whatever. And then invite not just comedians, but invite because dude, Derbez went to fucking Beer Hall. You guys got like Eugenio Derbez to come to fucking Beer Hall, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, when it was even smaller, even smellier, even shittier, there was Eugenio Derbez, and a lot of people. Have I told you that Fred Armisen went to Waco?
No.
No. Whoa.
Yeah, he came like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago.
That's dope.
I don't know what he was doing here, but suddenly someone said, "Is that Fred Armisen from what's the name of the show?
Portlandia?
Portlandia.
Yeah. I don't
Is
know
he
how.
awkward? Is he awkward the way he is on TV? He portrays himself. Is he awkward like that in real life?
Well, I didn't talk to him. I just saw him, and the
Okay.
show was really a very shitty show.
Oh.
Just rookie comedians, bad comedians. But if you are Fred Armisen, you understand that what you're seeing it's worth seeing, because you're seeing new comedians trying things and doing some experiments, and the place was full. So it wasn't like the best show, but it was like the Waco experience, just the people looking for comedy, seeing a new comedy show, and there he was. Actually, on the 139 upstairs of Waco, there were Jim Gaffigan was doing a show.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
On I think on April or March, but it just got canceled.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, because of the COVID.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy. And the thing is, hopefully that those guys decide that they want to come back. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will, but it might take some time, because they got to get their shit straight here too.
I'm not too familiar with it, but if you book something, when you book like an event, do you also get like some type of insurance, or depending with the promoter, like later on?
No, you don't get no money, brother.
Because I had tickets to go see a certain comedian in April, and then I just got word that it's going to be back on in October, or no, after November, after the elections.
Yeah, that's their way of saying you ain't getting your money back. So we'll see you in November. That's
well, actually,
what that means.
I got my money back from Jim Gaffigan's tickets. So
the guy from the bar didn't let you get in for free, man?
No. The tickets were on some sort of Ticketmaster or something like that. So we got reimbursed.
Yeah, but that's where you and your wife sneak in as cameramen, as journalists.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
how you get into the show. Fuck that. I wouldn't buy tickets. Fuck that shit. I'd be like, hey, I'm here to cover Jim Gaffigan. I'm for the Cuautitlán Izcalli son.
I don't think my friends on Waco or 139 would let me do that at all. So I just prefer, I just prefer to spend the $100 and not asking favors to anyone.
He was charging that much?
I think it was like at least $75 per ticket.
Was it sold out?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to go back. Listen, dude. I remember telling people, hey, let's get who was it? Who was I trying? I was trying to get somebody to come to Mexico, and they said, "Oh, people in Mexico won't go see that person. They don't even know who that. Who was it? Russell Peters was one, and then the other one was who was the other one? I forgot who else I mentioned. I mentioned somebody else, but they
Jason
told me
Rouse?
No, not Rouse, not Jason. It was somebody else. It was like Chris Rock or somebody, like a bigger name.
Wow.
And they were like, yeah, people won't pay to see. I'm like, are you kidding me? I go, you're selling Mexico short. Of course they will. No, it won't work.
Louis C.K. did the Metropolitan.
It sold out.
Sold out.
Yeah, but he's got family there too, though. That helps.
But his family here.
Yeah.
It's like maybe how many? 20 people?
Yeah, but he's a journalist, though. I'm sure he spread the word. He's got a lot of connections.
Yeah,
I'm sure there were a lot of other celebrities there, like Mexican celebrities there to watch.
Yeah, of course. But it's more the fame that he built, with his comedy among the English-spoken people, with money here in Mexico.
You sure it wasn't the masturbating, like in front of people?
Maybe. They was just waiting to get some cum in the first place.
Oh, dude. Jacuzzi. I remember your joke.
The jacuzzi?
A jacuzzi.
A jacuzzi. When you go
I need to hear this joke then.
It's a one-liner, but in Spanish, to ejaculate is ejacular, and jacuzzi. So I said that
it's a play on words.
Yeah. When you go to a hotel with all those fuck hotels with strange beds and jacuzzi, where you go to fuck. I said in those hotels the jacuzzi is a jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi.
I remember that. No, but you know what's funny? It's not just the joke, but the way Alex just looks at you like.
Thank you, man.
You got a jacuzzi, and then
A jacuzzi.
like pointing at you.
It's like he's inviting me.
You want to come to my jacuzzi?
No, there used to be a comedian here named Peter Tudorcio. I don't even know. I mean, he was a good buddy. He's an older guy. He came up like, I think he came on the Arsenio Hall show way back in the late 80s, early 90s. And but he was a one-liner comic.
Wow.
Are you still doing one-liners, Alex? You still do the one-liner?
Yeah.
So he's a one-liner guy, but after every joke, he would point at somebody in the audience, like I did my joke. Now it's your turn to laugh. Like he would just point at them. Like it's just, and that would make me laugh. That would make me laugh. It's a pointing.
Oh, it's nice you say that because when I started doing one-liners here, a lot of people, including famous, people told me, los one-liners acá no hagas one-liners. No, eso no funciona. And suddenly, when Woco grew big and it's like the big open mic here in Mexico, and people from all over America and Mexico come to do 5 minutes on Woco, there are a lot of kids because I used to host that open mic like for 3 years.
Yeah.
Then it went famous and I didn't host it anymore. But it's okay, no problem. But because the thing is, I grew and I didn't want to be 2 hours of my week, hosting. Not doing money, just hosting an open mic. So it's okay. And I wanted it to be that way. I wanted to run on itself, and I didn't want it to depend on myself. So yeah, it's fine. I'm happy with that. But I see when I don't go for say 3 weeks, a month, a couple of months, then I go back, and there are a lot of kids doing new comedy, and there are a lot of kids telling me, "You're the guy that does one-liners. I love one-liners." And I said, "My job here is done."
I'm telling you, internet brain. It's the internet brain. People forget, and then they catch up. It's like
it's because one-liners is tough because the reason I can't do one-liners is because, man, that means for a 20-minute set, you got to write like fucking 50 jokes. I'm not gonna sit here. I'd rather tell you a story and half of it is shit. But there's a punchline at the end. Just wait, people. Just wait.
Yeah, I think from a one-liner you could do a bigger.
That's Polo Polo.
Always.
That's what Polo did.
Yeah, exactly.
But but the one-liner, for people to say it wouldn't work, for people to tell you no, it's not gonna work, bro. That's been the fucking bane of comedy in Mexico forever. There are all those jokes are one-liners. So like el albur is a one-liner.
Well, yeah,
because it's set up. The guy says something, and then albur, boom, te la voltean. That's the punch. Set up punch. That's what it is.
Albures are very gay.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're very gay.
I fucked you man to man.
Yeah, I took out the beans.
You know what albures are, Jose?
No, I don't.
Oh.
So double meaning. It's a play on words, like where
like a double entendre.
Like if you say, hey, grab this here. No, you grab this here. Like fucking they turn it on you. It's a double meaning shit, but in Spanish it's different. So I mean, like we do it in English. Like we'll fucking say, oh, you know what he meant by that. And it's like a double meaning. Mm-hmm. Like a word can mean two things. Like I can't think.
No, I'm telling you, it's like a double entendre. Like it means the same thing. It's just phrased differently or different. Yeah.
You guys have one albur, just one, and that's what she said.
Yeah.
That's the only albur you have.
Yeah. But
I'm gonna think of them. Right now.
Oh, but in Mexico, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like for us pochos, we don't fucking know. They fuck us every time. It's like, oh shit,
It's very complicated because it gets. I think it's a form of art, a very urban, and it's a mixture of slang and poetry and sexual game, and it becomes a really big. I'm gonna try to make an example here. If you say chili in a drawer, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a fruit in a drawer. But if you say chile en cajones,
Yeah.
In Spanish,
Yeah.
en cajón, it's two words. En cajón, in a drawer. But if you say en cajones, it means to, ¿cómo dirías encajar? To stick in, to
Stick it, shove it in.
Yeah.
to shove it in. So if you say chile en cajones, it's I'm shoving my chile in your ass, you know?
Yeah.
It's a whole different universe.
So that's what they do. So somebody will say chile, and then somebody will be en cajones, you know, like fucking, so that he flips it on the guy. So we don't have that. We don't have that in English. It's crazy. Like the only thing is correct what Alex said. Like, oh, stick it in. That's what she said. That's the only thing we have. I can't think of any other one that we, you know what I mean? Like that we turn it on somebody. But
like for example.
But every word in Spanish in Mexico, every fucking word, there's a twist. I'm like, God damn.
Let me make another example here. Like for example,
¿Ya están los frijoles or something like that?
Sacomérnoslos.
Yeah.
Like everything with the color white, it's going to be referred to semen. Okay, semen. So whatever you say with white, I'm just going to make a reference that I spilled my white on you because, you know, that's very gay. That's why I said it's very gay.
Yeah.
If you, como dices, someter a la persona, if you submit the other people sexually, you win. I mean, it's just verbal. It's a verbal game. But if you say techo, ceiling, blanco, it's mean I te echo, yo te echo mi blanco. Techo blanco, ya fuiste albureado.
Yeah.
So it's very complex.
White ceiling.
Yeah. White ceiling.
So you can't translate it.
No.
Like white flooring. I don't know. White.
No.
I mean, I'm sure we could find something eventually.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of stuff. But
it's techo blanco, you're saying, oh, the roof's white. No, techo blanco. I throw white on you.
Or you know what? I'm thinking of what you would call it, my goodness, David Allen Greer and Damian Wayans with the Men on Film or whatever, how they would the play on words or whatever. Goodness, the
Clutch the Pearls. What a stupid thing to do.
Yes, stuff like that. Yeah.
Catch the Pearls, a pearl necklace. There could be a reference, a similar reference, right?
That's the only way I can like connect.
A pearl necklace. Yeah, when somebody says a pearl necklace, that's what they mean, right?
Yeah, it's like, too many men on the field. Oh, well, I call that a party.
See, shit like that. Yeah, fuck that.
It's like, what do you say? Man in motion in the backfield or something, or I don't know what.
Or I used to say like, oh, he went to jail as a tight end. He came out a wide receiver.
Well, it can work.
It's not the same. It's not the same though. It's not the same because, like, I'm telling you, dude, you get like a dude from the street in Mexico City, like a chilango, that motherfucker will murder you, bro. Have you crying? Because that dude will you can't even reply. Everything you reply, he'll twist it sexually. Like everything you fucking reply, bro. Everything. I seen a battle. I think Adal Ramones on his show had a battle, Balbur, and I didn't understand what the fuck they were saying.
It's like the Cockney from the Londoners, right? It's something that you just have to grow there to understand. And you can dig in and, you know, study and learn a bit, but it's never the same that being born there and growing with this shit, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So how's the scene in Los Angeles? How are you guys doing? How's the clubs, the you know, the famous, the not famous,
different. It's not different, Alex.
It's different?
No hay diferencia, güey. It's the same shit. Like, everything's shut down. Everything was opening up. Now it's shutting back down again because fucking the corona cases went up again, a spike, and then they said, no, like they think the governor of California just came out and said, we're shutting the restaurants again down, shutting them down, and bars. I think they should have just left them open, man. I mean, that's my opinion. My opinion is just leave them open. You know, stop playing with this shit. I mean, the sad reality is that people are gonna get it. The majority are gonna recover. Some are gonna struggle to recover, and few are gonna die. And that, I mean, it's a sad reality, but that's the reality, man. I mean, that's what we live in. That's the times we live in. And now they're saying another fucking flu in China. There's another one now.
A pork one, right?
Holy yes.
Oh, you guys are safe though. No, but I was saying I think they want to like
a Muslim.
Well, maybe maybe what they're trying to do is like trying to save or prevent as many cases so then they can offer us the vaccine and the cure so they can get more money out of the living.
True.
Maybe. I don't know.
True. Yeah, that I mean, that could be true. But I mean, I get it. I get the reason they don't want too many people getting infected is because then there's a flood at the hospitals, you know, and then, you know, you don't have enough beds or whatever. I get all that. But my brother had it. My brother got coronavirus. My twin brothers, my stepdad, they were remodeling my mom's house. They were working. They brought a man in, and they were redoing the kitchen and shit. And they all got it, and they're all over it. Like they're done with it.
I think I got it. I think I got it like 2 weeks ago because I lost all my smell, olfato. How do you say smell?
Olfato, sense of smell.
I completely lost my sense of smell.
Did you get a fever?
No. I got diarrhea. I felt really tired. My bones hurt a lot. I slept like I've never slept in my life. I mean, 12-hour sleep at night and then 2 hours in the afternoon. Wow. I felt really tired and I couldn't smell a thing. And Hannah, my baby, she had a bit of fever, but very little. And Leah was fine. And we haven't been out for 100 days, man. We just receive things from outside and we clean everything. And still, I haven't done the test because I called the service and they told me your symptoms are very weak, very little. So you're most likely to get negative.
You're not dying yet. We don't need you to come in.
Exactly. And that's what I thought. So I need to be dying and short of breath.
Lie. Next time, lie. You gotta lie. You gotta call and say, dude, I got a fucking 103-degree fever. It's been like 6 weeks. It hasn't gone down. Just fucking exaggerate.
The thing is, I never felt like I needed attention, so I just said I'll stay here and
because you feel bad because somebody who really needs it, you might take their thing. Yeah. But yeah, dude. I mean, my wife is the same thing. My wife this is like in November, same thing. No sense of smell, no sense of taste. She got a fever for like a day. She said her bones. I remember her crying in the bathroom, coughing. She said having problems breathing, like not heavily, but having problems breathing, and just feeling so exhausted and her bones hurting that, I mean, I never seen her fucking cry over a cough. And she was in the bathroom crying one day, like, I don't feel good at all. Like, I don't feel good. But this is in November, bro.
This shit has been around since last year.
But I got tested and I don't have it. I haven't gotten it. So what I was seeing today or last night, I saw a video that says that you get it because you touch things and then you rub your face. Yeah. That's how you get it. Yeah. That's how you get it. That's the biggest way people are getting it is they touch things and then they touch their face and it goes through your eyes, your nose, and your mouth. Yeah. So like, and they say we touch our face like 100 times a day.
Yeah, it's impossible. I read an article it's impossible that a chimpanzee like us don't touch her face. We touch her face like 15 times an hour, and it's like an instinct for us.
I touch my dick alone 20 times. But So next time you want to shake my hand, think about it. This guy touches his dick more than he touches his face.
That's a good technique to avoid, human touch these days.
I would shake hands with you. I just touched my dick, man.
I just masturbated, so.
Yeah. No, I just touched it. That's it. I just touched it. It was, it was itchy. So, Jose, what have you heard about that? Because you work, with the community and all that. Is that the same thing they say about the coronavirus? What are they recommending to people, like parents and all that?
You know what? To just stay at home, avoid like the stuff that you read in the papers, see online, watch on television. Just avoid contact. But I don't know. I mean, I guess my personal experience, like I told you, Cisco, like I want to say in January, I felt that same way. I was at work on a Friday.
I remember. I remember.
And I was like, and every lunch, I go to either I go to El Pollo Loco or I'll go to Subway. But this lunch, I was like, you know what? I'm going straight to my car and I'm just going to sleep in my car. And I just slept in my car, woke up, took a little 30-40-minute nap. I noticed the seat was all drenched from my sweat. Went back to the office, finished off the day, went home, knocked out, woke up the next day, freaking ate, fell asleep just like Alex said, and then repeated the same thing, like sweated out the sheets, woke up on Sunday, sweated out the sheets, and went to work on Monday again.
But you
Yeah,
never like
sweat. A lot of sweat.
did you never like took your temperature or anything or check?
No, and you know what? And I have a routine where I run every Sunday, and I still ran that Sunday. And even when I ran Sunday, like I sweat normally, and I sweated a lot. And I was like, well, maybe this is one way to get, like in my head, I'm thinking if I had it, maybe I sweated it out or whatever. But ever
That's one thing my wife trips out about me because I believe in that. I really believe in sweating it out. But you gotta,
hell yeah.
But you gotta rehydrate. Like you can't go fucking sweat it out and you say, oh, I'm not gonna drink water or not have fluids. You gotta have fluids like Gatorade or whatever. My thing is if you're not active, this shit can really fuck you up, man. Especially like we're indoors, we're not getting sun, we're not going for walks, or you know what I'm saying? You got to stay active. You got to eat, bro. I mean, I've said it over. My wife had this doctor, a chiropractor, that I think to me, he's like the best fucking doctor I've ever known, dude. Like this motherfucker knows his shit. And he used to say, look, man, because he was the first one to tell me straight up, look, there's viruses around you all the time, 24/7. The only time you get the virus is when your immune system becomes susceptible. He goes, eat right or try to eat right as much as you can, more than you don't. He goes, we're going to slip up, but you know, if you fucking eat pizza, don't fucking eat pizza 3 days in a row or 2 days. You know, if you have pizza for dinner, next day have something healthy. He goes, and then be active, go for a walk, only a brisk walk, and get sun. He goes, if you do those 3 things, you won't get sick. He goes, I rarely get sick. And you know what's funny is I rarely get sick. And you know, like I coach football too, man. You know, I've been coaching football since 1997.
Wow.
You know, American football. So I'm always in the sun. So I always got my sun. Fucking my legs were fucking black last year and shit. They were fucking dark as shit. They're pale now, but I was always getting my sun. I was always, I mean, the eating right, that's my fucking struggle right there because always on the go. That's the hard part. But moving, I mean, I'm moving around with the kids and, you know, teaching them shit like that. So I think el encierro, this fucking enclosure, is going to make people more sick than anything as well.
I agree because
and psychologically too, bro.
Yeah, people are getting very anxious. Have you heard about the indigenous people from Chiapas?
No, what they do? No coronavirus, I bet.
Well, there's you know, a lot of disinformation, and in Chiapas there are a lot of it's like one of the poorest states in Mexico. So they have a lot of very muy mala educación, muy poca educación, muy poca información. La mayoría son indígenas en situación de pobreza extrema, si no es que extrema.
Sí.
And so they are like, you know, sanitizing everything with spray. And suddenly someone says, they're spreading the virus on us. They want to kill us. And they burned fucking cars and the like fucking, you know.
Dude, that's not just in Chiapas, because my mom's from a pueblo in Sinaloa and they're fucking ignorant like that. A lot of them. They still like, no les descalzo. You know, like, and this doctor, it's funny because, but you know what? That's a cultural thing. That's a culture thing. If you come from like not a lot of money, to be descalzo is a sign that you're poor. And that's, no, serious shit. Serious shit.
Wow. It's like take a jacket when you leave.
Yeah, and I think a lot of Mexicans, see that as a simple, like, I don't want people knowing that I'm fucking super poor, so my kids should have shoes on. Like, seriously. And this doctor, going back to Dr. Bergman, my wife's doctor, he's like, you need to walk around barefoot as much as you can.
It's very healthy.
Yeah, it's very healthy for your feet, for your arches, for everything. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So when they tell you no les descalzo, it's like a bunch of bullshit. You're not going to get sick because porque andas descalzo. You're going to get sick because you haven't taken care of yourself. But like, but going back to what you said, the ignorance is spread all over. It's here in the United States too, bro. It's not just Chiapas. There's small towns in the United States where they're backwards thinking just like that también.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of ignorance in the United States.
And you
all
know
over.
what? And you know what? I'm dying for that ignorance because all I've been doing is running, doing yoga. It's like I want to go out there and I want to do like hood rat shit. Like I want to go to the club.
Hood
Like I
rat
want to go to the
shit.
bar. Like I want to do like ignorant shit. Like I'm tired of just living this healthy lifestyle of just eating right, doing yoga, running. Like no, like I want to get out there. I want to just like I want to do hood rat shit.
You know, speaking about this myth of the, you need your shoes and whatever, have you seen this documentary about Lorena Ramirez,
Yes, I saw it.
the runner?
Cisco constantly
Yes.
mentions it. Yes.
She
No.
runs with a fucking layer
Guarache.
of guaraches. Ni siquiera son guaraches, son de plástico.
Dude,
And
leather.
she
No, they're
runs-
leather because son de piel porque en una carrera que estaba lloviendo dice que se le pusieron duro. So you know how leather gets fucking hard?
Nike investing millions of dollars in ASICs and all the shit to get your shoe with. You don't need the shit. I mean, now
Well,
we need it because we've you know we're now you know
Wusses.
ya nos hicimos dependientes a todos esos materiales y si no te jodes las rodillas. But
Yeah.
we don't really need those.
We
You know.
don't. We don't. That's just they found
When
something to sell you. They found something to sell you to make money.
When
off
I've
of.
run like different marathons or different events, like there's always a couple of people that run barefoot, or you know, people that run like in their traditional Aztec things and everything with the shells, and they're running barefoot too, or they're running with their chanclas. And I always and I talk to them. I'm like, how do you feel after mile 13 or mile 14? It says, you know what? At that point, like my feet are really soft, and my feet are my eyes. Like at that point, like I don't really need to look at the road. Like I can tell how the road is gonna feel, like the incline, the decline. Like
Wow.
yeah.
That's crazy. That's interesting.
And I heard that from an older Asian man and older Mexican woman too.
And they run marathons barefoot. Oh man! And
Yeah.
in the pavement. I mean, it's
Yeah.
hot. And
I did this UCLA cancer research run, and it wasn't a long one. It was only 9 miles, but I started off fast. Like the first 4, 5, 6 miles burned everybody. Mile 7, 8, slowed down my pace. But these older people just with their slow pace, like the tortoise and the hare, they just caught up right up to me and passed me. And I was like, oh my goodness. And he's barefooted going downhill and barefoot. I was like, and I had to talk to him. I was like, oh, after the run, you get that runner's high. And I just started talking to everybody. And I was like, oh, how does this?
Yeah, we got to remember they also train that way. So it's not like they just train in tennis shoes and then come out and race a marathon barefoot.
True. Yeah.
Lorena, she's run like she's from the Ramurami. Huh? How is
Raramuri.
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 Son tarumaras, no?
Sí.
Yeah, so they're from Chihuahua, I believe, like the mountain. So dude, I knew a tarumara, a guy, he's a boxer. His last name is Ponce de Leon. He was a fucking champion. And he was tarumara, and he told me, I remember him telling me, Daniel Ponce de Leon, look him up. And I remember interviewing him when I had my radio show back in the day. And he was born in a cave. He was born in a cave in Chihuahua, up in the mountains. And yeah, dude. So he says they had to walk down the mountain to go buy shit. And then walk it all the way back up to the fucking cave, dude.
Damn, this guy's a Jungle Book? Mowgli? What is this?
That's some crazy shit. I mean, that's real life, though. I mean, it sounds absurd to us, but it's real life. It's tradition and it's cultural. So, you know what I mean? But they grow up running barefoot or running with huaraches. They don't have anything else. That's what it's funny because Lorena's brother's wearing tennis shoes and shit. Like, I'm like, look at this fake motherfucker, bougie ass motherfucker. Ya se cree mucho con tenis and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're supposed to be making it look authentic here, bro. Come on, take the tennis shoes off.
I grew up just drinking beer, and that's what I do. The drinking is another thing here in the quarantine. I try to keep it low, but I've had days that I've drunk from Monday to Friday, man. Now I'm
damn.
I mean, not getting drunk, but at least a couple of beers every day. It's something I it's not healthy,
Negra Modelo's good though, man.
Yeah, Negra Modelo is really good.
That's some good shit.
I mean, today is Monday, and I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm doing the podcast, so fuck it. I just have a beer with
like
my
a
friends.
loophole.
So what are you doing now? So what are you doing during the day now, Alex? Like, I mean, are you just like looking for because I know you always have. I mean, you were doing La Culpa de Cortez on fucking.
Yeah, we did 5
Central.
seasons of that show. It was really great and fun, and it was a good gig.
I I heard the feminists are taking your job now, man.
Yeah. They did a season for the, it's, I think it's like the correct thing to do, to put 5 women doing this panel show. I think it brings, it's special in these times. And eventually, I want to talk to you guys about, with you, about all the thing going on with racism and all that stuff, but we'll get to there. And so I did La Culpa es de Cortez, and now when the pandemic started, I was basically unemployed. I mean, I was doing some stuff from here and there, but I stopped doing radio like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you had a radio show, I remember.
Well, I wrote for that show. I did voices and produced some stuff, and I was there. I was on air like for 12 years or something.
Damn.
But suddenly they changed everything, so I went out, and I haven't been back to radio or TV since then. But I do a lot of voiceover. I do, commercials. I do KFC here in Mexico. I do Gatorade. Some brands, the voiceover. And now I'm doing a show for Comedy Central Latin America. It's called Balcony Stories, but like the Spanish version. So I am translating and recording the voiceover. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my show every day at 8 p.m. on Facebook Live. And, trying to make some kind of content that should bring audience to what I do.
Yeah.
Because I do. And I did this very nice song, I have to say. It was like a very short beat for Comedy Central called Comediantes en Casa, Comedians en Casa.
Yeah.
And I said, what if I do a song, a very simple song with a ukulele, and, song with describing my day. And it ended up being a video clip with a,
Damn.
I'll send you the link. It's in Comedy Central Latin America Facebook page. But it was really nice for me because I returned to music. I really love music. So I'm trying to do more music to get it, trying to put it together in a show because, I never liked doing a cabaret show, comedy and music, but now I
like that though,
dude. Yeah, it took me a while to get into that. Yeah, it took me a while.
We used to do comedy with burlesque. Oh, I used to love that. That was fun.
It didn't take me long to get into that, but yeah.
So I said, okay, I do stand up. I still write stand up and try to do comedy, but now I'm gonna try to put some music there, to try to put together the talents that I can, use on stage.
I think you should keep doing what you're doing your Facebook lives, do your YouTube, get your YouTube up, keep doing. YouTube is the biggest platform in the world, bro. It is. It trumps anything, any major network, any freaking pay channel. It trumps, because it's free and people have it on their phone. If your phone comes with fucking YouTube installed, like you don't have to go and download the Showtime app or download the fucking Distrito Comedia app or whatever. No, YouTube comes on that shit. You don't.
The thing is, there's so much content. Like you have to go like through layers of garbage and trash to just take your hand out and hey, somebody see me, please.
Yeah, but are the videos? What you get. Is La Culpa de Cortez on YouTube?
I think just small beats.
Clips, like little clips.
Small clips. Yeah.
So see, they're on there, so people are seeing. I'm sure they get a lot of views. So you gotta freaking build off that. Like the fact that you're on all that shit, man. And you, like I said, you know how to edit, you know how to film, you know lighting, you know all that shit. You've done radio, so dude, do your own show on music.
You know music. What we're doing also, we're doing Leah and me. We're doing the Matrimonios, which is like a news
for married people.
Yeah, and it's just news from the living room, news from the kitchen, news from the bathroom, news from the baby.
Yeah, there's a niche for everything right now.
Yeah, I'll send you the links so that you can watch whatever I'm doing. But it gets very busy, because you could think, this guy, he's a comedian, he does a lot of things. He just does his Facebook Live and that's it. No, I have to change diapers and clean the house because we don't have no one to help us because it's dangerous and it's risky for everyone.
Damn, that sucks for those people, huh?
Yeah, we clean the house and we pay them. They're not coming to clean, but we pay them. We still pay them because, yeah, of course.
Because you feel bad for them.
Well, we can help them. We can, help them with that little, and we can do that work because we're here. But it's very heavy. Have to, wash dishes and clean the clothes and clean the house and be with the baby and do some exercise and then write and then do the podcast and then edit the video and then write the shit and
That's my day every day, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's for everyone now.
That's my day every day. My day every day is, make breakfast, make dinner. Not all the time, but my wife will help me out with that. My wife still goes to work and comes back. No, but she's cool. Like she's been, like I said, I think she got it already. I think that if she got it, she's over it. She's not, I mean, unless, she gets, it's a second coming or some shit. I don't know. But I got tested and I came out negative, no antibodies or anything. So I haven't had it. But, so, it's cleaning, it's washing, it's fucking, doing all editing, doing the podcast every night, editing it, working on my playbook for I don't even know if we're going to have a season, but I'm like building my football playbook, adding to it, doing it, sending it to the kids, answering your emails, answering your Zooms, scheduling shit. I mean, there's people still hitting me up to do stuff. And I'm like, fuck, no, I can't do it. I mean, how the fuck am I always tell them I can't plan that far ahead because I don't know what's going to happen. It's like you, dude. I mean, I was going to ask you, if this shit keeps going, the pandemic, how do you move? Like, you're going to move in the middle of a pandemic? Like, move all your shit?
Well, at first we thought it's going to be dangerous to move in this, thing. But we need to move by December. So I'm hoping that it's not going to be that dangerous on December. So, and we're moving maybe not far from here. So I hope it's going to be just okay. But yeah, it's, I don't know what's going to happen. Fortunately, I can do a lot of things and everything it's done here in my studio. So I've got some little jobs, do this voiceover, do this video editing, do this whatever. So I'm getting by with these, small jobs, and doing the voiceover for this show just keeps me creative because I have to translate the show, but also I have to put jokes, Mexican, Latin jokes to the show. So it's like my gym. So I do it every day.
Bro, you do voiceovers. You could do all kinds of shit. You could do commercials for like small businesses and shit and say, I can do the voiceover. I can write the commercial.
I can edit it. I can everything.
I can edit it. I can shoot it. We can make it. It doesn't have to be sophisticated, just simple and gets the message out there, get the address up. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities.
I'm just surprised he does the commercials for KFC after our conversation yesterday about Cuba Gooding Jr. Have you seen that clip of Cuba Gooding Jr. wearing a KFC hat on his head?
So yeah, he got a lot of flack. This is like a year ago, right?
Last year, at a club in New York.
And what did he say?
Before all the allegations of him, grabbing these women and stuff, he was drunk at the club with a KFC hat, saying "suck that baby's dick" on the DJ mic, and people ran with it. So it's no more "show me the money," no more Snow Dogs, no more radio. It's "suck that baby's dick" with a KFC hat. And so I'm like,
whoa!
It's like, I
didn't hear about that.
It's like if you're going up on stage and you're like saying "mucha mierda," and I tell you "suck that baby's dick," Alex.
If you get a chance to look at Cuba Gooding Jr. saying "suck that baby's dick," like you're gonna see him.
Chúpale el pito al niño. Chúpale el pito al niño.
And so how's going comedy with all this racist and political correct and thing, because everybody's getting so.
Yeah, I guess people have to like tap dance around certain issues.
Well, fortunately, there is no comedy, so we don't know. You know what I mean? But I mean, not only the racism, but all the allegations that came out against comedians. The whole new second wave of Me Too movement, and the Chris D'Elia shit that came out, where he's basically, I don't know. I think he's done. I can't, not 100%, but his agency fired him.
Really?
Yeah, CAA let him go.
Are those all allegations? Are they true?
Well, it was about
they're allegations.
Coercing young women, underage women, and talking to them. But So he came out. Supposedly he came out with some text message. He says, "Hey man, I never fucked with these girls. You know, this is and he put the transcript of those text messages where you're like, how old are you? And you know, I don't know, whatever. And then he stopped talking to them. And then the one girl texts him back when she was 21. She's like, I'm 21. I'm ready to fuck now. Like, yeah. So
he's like, oh, you're too old.
Yeah, you're too old now, right? but see, man, you don't have that problem, Alex. That's the good thing. And that's what I told a lot of comedians in Mexico. Stop fucking with these girls that you work with and stop fucking around with these young girls. A lot of these older dudes want to fuck with these young girls, man. And then you get into trouble because, your fucking dick is hard and you're like, how old are you again? Yeah, right, fucker.
You got to do the Dave Chappelle, the NDA signed, like, it's like, yes for anal, yes for cunnilingus, yes for this. Like,
can I see your ID, please? And sign here and whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what they do. Right? She's freaking grabbing his freaking head, you know, and shaking it, you know. Nobody, dude. So, I mean, if comedy was going right now, damn, you know, yeah. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, bro.
But I mean, and on social media, and because Facebook is so delicate now, you cannot say or write anything because you're out of that.
Well, you saw all the companies are like not advertising on it anymore, huh? They're all leaving. They're all withdrawing their advertisements. All the big companies. Somebody just came out today and said they're not advertising anymore. Like every day, it's like
Starbucks said they're not going to be doing anything on Twitter, and I was like, damn.
Really, on Twitter as well?
Coca-Cola
on Twitter as well?
Yeah.
What the fuck did Twitter do?
They were saying that we're not gonna, because I don't know if you saw this last week or 9 or 10 days ago, where Starbucks says that one of their employees had a face mask and it said Black Lives Matter, and then the supervisor or the shift lead was like, you can't have that type of mask on. And it's like, oh, of course, the employee put it on Twitter, put it on Instagram, and then so everybody gave backlash to Starbucks, and then so now Starbucks says, okay, no more advertising. Like, let's, and you know, it's one of those like, okay, let's just be quiet and deflect.
See, I'm not for that either, bro. Like, I'm not for that either. I just
cancel culture.
Yeah. That cancel culture is making me sick too, man. Because now, like, what happened to freedom of speech in this country?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't fucking say freedom of speech only when it's convenient for you. And just because somebody shares an opinion on contrary to yours, you're like, fuck that person. We need to cancel them because they're hateful. Well, yeah, they have the right to be hate as long as they're not doing anything physically to somebody or influencing in somebody's life. Then we can't be so sensitive, dude. That's how the country's going to shit.
I agree. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I mean, or to hear your opinion about all this Trump thing going on. And you know what really pisses me off? That, okay, we're having a crisis with a lot of things, but politicians only try to bring them to their, solo quieren hacer que se trate de ellos. You know what I'm saying?
They're is it nepotism? No.
No, it's like
cynical.
Yeah. No, it's more like bring attention to my issue. Like focus on my issue for the moment now.
It doesn't matter how many people die about COVID. It doesn't matter how many black people are killed. I'm just going to use it for my campaign and for the party and for my convenience.
How can I change this narrative to suit me?
Yeah. Oh, it sucks, man. Because this is people are running the world, not just one country or two.
Going back to what Cisco was saying, I mean, just to be on the other side of the spectrum here, okay, we don't want to cancel everything, but at one point, do we start to unlearn things and move forward? Like, okay, however I was thinking when I was 28 or 18, it's not how I think now that I'm 38. Like,
bro,
things.
Don't fucking support them. That's it. That's all you do. You just don't support them, but don't go out. Like, don't give them the attention that they're looking for. That's it. That's how you do it. You just avoid
True, because
it.
I'm an advocate of like, I vote with my money. Like whatever I like, I'm going to give my money to. Like if I like this, I'm going to spend money on this. If I like that, I'm going to spend my money on it. And if I don't like you, like I'm not going to spend my money in it. So like with Starbucks or things like that, I'm like, well, I wasn't a Starbucks. I mean, I worked at Starbucks when I was younger, but like now it's like, well, I'm not a Starbucks person either. And like, I'm not going to give you the money. But like, now that you're bringing this to my attention, it's not like I'm going to hate Starbucks even more than I already did.
I get my coffee from Oxxo. from 7-Eleven.
That really sucks, man.
I don't give a fuck. I go to 7-Eleven. That's where I get my coffee from. It's 7-Eleven, to be honest.
Well, it's not that Starbucks is the best coffee.
You think Starbucks is the best?
No. It's not that Starbucks is the best.
Yeah. No, we have better coffee shops here. Like
of course, yeah.
Organic and shit. But dude, and you know what I don't like about Starbucks, especially there's one by the school, and they make so much money. They don't give shit to that community. They don't do shit for that community. They take money from that community. They don't do shit for that community.
Yeah, and so again, I mean, it just goes back to like us like I guess for the kids that are under 24 years old that love to have the routine of morning Starbucks and everything, at some point they're gonna be like, you know what, like I'm not supporting this. I'm not gonna give them my money anymore. I'm gonna do something else that's different. And maybe it is, maybe they're canceling them in their own way, or maybe they're just not supporting them. But what does that say about, again, I constantly bring this example up all the time. Am I really going to boycott all the little tiny Asian hands that make my cell phone? Like, am I going to boycott, child labor? Like, no, I'm going to want to get a new phone in 2 years. Or like, am I going to pick and choose my battles on certain things? Like,
well, that's another thing.
At what point is the hypocrisy going to outweigh my ethics and morals?
Well, that's another thing where when I see people, there's a hypocrisy. When I see people talk about systemic racism and Black Lives Matter, but then I look at them and they're wearing that Nike sweater and those Jordans and fucking I'm like, dude, you support that shit. You don't actions speak louder than words. Stop wearing that shit. Stop supporting Adidas and fucking Reebok and all them who are just making money off your people and not giving back and are part and giving money to Trump. They're taking your money and then giving it to Trump to support his campaign. So how are you really supporting that stance? It's bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Damn it! I'm gonna have to go live in the little Tarahumara tunnel where that homeboy lived and just.
Well, let's be. I mean, facts are facts, bro. Our money. When these companies give support a president, whose money are they giving them? They're not giving them their fucking money. They're giving the money we spent. That's what they're going to give to them. So I mean, usually, come on. But usually these companies give money to both candidates because quieren quedar bien con los dos, dude. They don't.
Claro.
So I guess the example would be like, okay, like Disney, like they support Trump, but then they also do that. Well, all the previous cartoons that had racial symbolism or whatever, like we're gonna take that away from the catalog and everything. But you're still supporting Trump on this end. Well, you're trying to seem woke.
I don't think they should get rid of all that shit. We're not getting rid of movies. They just made a new series of Roots. It's on Hulu.
Really?
Yeah, there's Roots. They redid Roots. I don't think they should get rid of. I like the disclaimer when you watch like an old Tom and Jerry's cartoon, and then there's a disclaimer.
There's Mammy.
This cartoon portrays the thinking of the time period in which it was made.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm gonna do a new show, a new hour, and just put a disclaimer. This depicts the way I think back in 1991.
Yeah.
Fucking faggots.
This is how I thought in 2017. In 2017.
Right up the gate with the F word.
Puto el que lo lea.
It's you and Manuna going at it, bro.
Oh, my goodness. No, but I don't know if you guys, or you probably have seen the movie Dumbo, right?
Yeah.
So when I remember watching Dumbo, it's a bunch of animals, and like when they get to the crows, I'm like, those are black people. You don't have to tell me anything. I know those are black
Fritz
people.
the cat, bro. Fritz
like,
the
yeah,
cat.
it's
Fritz
like
the
right
cat
away-
was like that. Remember Fritz the cat, the cartoon?
Yeah.
It's like that too.
It's like, I know this guy's black. You don't have to explain this. Like, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, they made the voice. Hey, baby, what you doing around here? And it's like, oh, what the fuck? Why the crow gotta talk like that? Yeah,
I just followed you on Twitter, Jose.
Okay, then I'll
I
follow you
followed
right
you,
back.
Cisco. I follow you, right?
Yeah. Slop master.
No,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
homie Cisco.
It's good, dude. I had to keep explaining to people what Ciscolution and how to spell it. I fucking got tired of telling people.
Yeah, I know.
I hated it. And then I was like, I kept saying Ciscolution. I had it for the longest. But like people, I just go, you know what, dude? I'm just going to fucking change it, which is dumb because all the things I was tagged on are Ciscolution.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
And now I'm homie Cisco. Fuck it.
Oh,
But
so speaking of cancel culture, one of my favorite, I guess this kind of predated the MILF and everything, Golden Girls. There's an episode of Golden Girls where the slutty one, Blanche, and the dumb one, Rose, they come out in a face mask, like a mud mask.
I see
And
that.
apparently, I guess they come out and they have like a black guest or whatever, or African American guest, and so they go, it's like, oh no, like we're not really black. It's like a face mask or whatever, but like the joke was like, it wasn't deemed to be racist, but they're trying to cancel that episode and they're trying to cancel that. See,
but
like,
the writer was being racist, bro.
Yeah,
the writer was
that's a black face, a very
black face. No matter how
black face,
no matter how you paint it, how you portray it, it's fucking blackface, dude. It's just, dude, white people are slick about shit like that. They know how to fucking manipulate the situation to cover their ass and say, oh, we weren't trying to be racist, you know, fucking Kalimba's all right. He's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, they could talk shit about anybody.
Yeah, because I guess, you put Betty White, you know, like an animal activist in blackface. It's like, she's Betty White, you know, like.
Thank you.
Yeah, she can't be racist.
Dude, in Mexico, they used to do blackface too, huh? Like back in the old days?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No, here, what do you mean?
They just had Memin Pinguin, that was it.
Yeah, and it's very racist. I mean, you see that?
So it's a cartoon, right?
Comic book.
Yeah. So I guess you can get away with cartoons and stuff because they're not real. They're not real people. You're not giving them an identity or something. But again,
what do you
it's
think,
racist. So
what do you think? In 2015, I was reading this that Mexico finally admitted that they had black people in the country. Like they finally counted them on the census. What do you think about that, Alex?
Well, the thing is, we don't really have a big black population here in Mexico. I mean, it's more indigenous.
Yeah.
And anyway, we're very racist with indigenous people. I mean, it's just so unfair. And, but yeah.
And where does that come from? Do you think you're taught that?
Yeah, of course.
The parents teach?
Because when the Spanish came, you know, they just submitted all the indigenous people and the Spanish were the kings. And there's still people that are proud to say that they're more European than indigenous. And if you're güerito, you were more than people that are prietos. We just had an issue here in Mexico about all
Polanco,
that.
Right?
Huh?
Polanco, right?
Polanco?
Weren't they like, were they spray painting the walls in Polanco? And
yeah. Because
the Whitexicans?
It began because of the thing of George Floyd.
Okay.
So there were people just protesting in the embassy of the USA here in Mexico, but they couldn't get through because they just have this big, you know, wall, and you guys like walls, right?
It holds a roof
up. They couldn't get closer to the embassy, so they walked to Polanco, which is like a half a mile from there, and they just made a lot of, you know, painting in the walls and you white people, you suck and whatever. But they were protesting against what happened with George Floyd. But then we had an issue with Chumel Torres. You know Chumel?
Yeah. We talked about El Choco Flan.
Yeah.
Making the reference about the.
Can you tell that joke again? Because I personally think the joke's funny.
Yeah, well, the son of the president, López Obrador, his skin is dark because López Obrador his skin is a bit darker.
He's indigenous. He's part indigenous, right?
Yeah. He's not really indigenous. It's very convenient for him to say, "I'm with the people from you know the."
It helps him. It helps him in his political movement. Yeah, I'm you.
And
he looks like Jose. He looks like Jose.
Yeah. And so Chumel calls him Choco Flan, which you know what a flan is, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a chocolate flan. Basically, he just named him Choco Flan. And the first lady just tweeted, because there's this thing in Mexico called the CONAPRED, which is the Consejo Nacional para Prevenir la Discriminación, which is like a part of the government and an office to prevent discrimination. And they were going to make these debates around racism and classism and all sort of stuff. And they invited Chumel Torres, but since he's always, you know, making jokes about the president, he's not at all with the president because he's more with the other side of the story. It's not that he's an opposition. Most of his friends are friends that, you know, are rich families from PRI. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's with PRI, but he is, you know, I think that he's more comfortable in that side of this story. He's not going to support AMLO because most of his origins are from, people from the rich side of Mexico.
Yeah.
So he's always, and the radio station he works for is from Azcárraga, the same guy, same family as Televisa. And
Televisa, yeah.
they build their power on the PRI. So he's obviously not going to be supporting Andrés Manuel. So it's always doing jokes. And he's endorsed by the company because, Radio Formula is very PRI.
Yeah.
They've been like that all the way. So
that's interesting though. That's interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But that's interesting that I just wanted to say this. It's interesting that the rich people in Mexico are Democrats. And here they're Republicans and they're Christian. So the panistas are not rich? Yeah,
and they're mostly rich people, and PRI are also rich people, but they have also very, the people that support them are the poor people from the PRI. It works different here. We don't have Demócratas and Republicanos. It's very different here. We have all sorts of political, forces, and it all depends on what it's convenient for the people, for the one that's supporting them. So the thing is, and what I was trying to say, Chumel is obviously in the other side of the president's story. So he's always, el presidente está mal and whatever. And he's doing a lot of wrong things. But I don't think that should be so black and white, whatever. And he calls this little guy, which I agree. He's a kid. He's why are you insulting the president's son? He's a kid.
Yeah.
Why are you? And so the first lady tweets to Conapred, how dare you are going to make this debate and invite Chumel Torres, who is calling my son Chocoflan, and she's the first lady. She doesn't want to be called the first lady, but she's the first lady. So imagine the power of the first lady saying, don't invite this guy. So all the, the government power and the president goes, the president shouldn't have, got in that conversation with Chumel. You know what I'm saying? It's pointless for a president to go there. And so it went big, really big. And so now the president is censoring Chumel and the comedy and whatever. And it was a big thing just around racism here in Mexico.
That's crazy, man.
It went really complicated.
I just want to say, I don't like flan, but the first time I tried choco flan, I was like, this is better than flan. So if somebody called me choco flan, I was like, choco flan's delicious. I don't know what you're talking about.
That should have been the right answer for the first lady, saying, you know what? Choco flan is the best. Fuck yeah. You don't need to say more.
And I kid you not, it wasn't until last year that I tried choco flan, because somebody was like, it's like, oh, you like flan? I was like, no, I don't like flan. It's like, oh, you ever tried choco flan? I was like, what's choco flan? It's like a layer of chocolate on top of flan. I was like, I do like chocolate. I do like chocolate. And I tried it, I was like, yep. Yeah, choco flan, yeah.
I'm not a big chocolate cake, but I like flan. Flan's good.
I don't like flan by itself. I don't like that. I don't like a lot of Asian food for that same, like the gelatin texture, like that slimy texture.
You don't like Jell-O?
Yeah. I like Jell-O. See, I'm contradicting myself now here. I like Jell-O, but like some Asian food, like the wontons and stuff like that, like when it's in the broth, like I don't like that slimy texture.
You like fried wontons? Like. You like deep fried wontons?
I like that.
You'll eat those motherfuckers?
Yeah, I'll eat those.
They are good. They are pretty damn delicious.
And I guess that's just like the texture. I don't like, here come the jokes. I don't like that slimy texture in my mouth. So. It's jacuzzi.
You don't like nopal?
He said a jacuzzi.
A jacuzzi. You don't like...
I had to throw it in. I had to wait. I had a perfect timing, right? I got to wait for it.
That's hilarious, dude. No, but it's crazy the way that the politicians try to get involved in the world of entertainment. I think like here, a lot of people just here. It's crazy because here everybody shits on the president, like entertainment, regular people.
And we should. I just said on my show, chinga su madre el presidente, el que sea.
Yeah.
As soon as you sit on that chair, I'm just gonna,
change.
Question everything and chinga tu madre forever because you're the president. You're in that place, and
it's like comedy though. It's like comedy. It's like comedy, Alex. Si nos enfocamos en la gente that's not our fan, then we'll never do good. You gotta just keep performing for the people that like you, and that's the same thing for president. Look, man. The only way you're going to win people over is not by fucking telling them, look, or talking shit to them. The only way you're gonna win them over is by improving things. If you improve Mexico, if Mexico became improved, then people can't say shit about you. They can't say shit about you. They trust me. They're not gonna call your son Choco Flan, or they could call him Choco Flan all they want. But whatever. But let's say, what's up?
Okay, but here's the thing, right? Like, I guess Trump's doing the same thing. Like, he's using stats, or he's using the stats that he wants. So what I've noticed ever since I started voting is anytime I voted for something, it doesn't happen like that next month or that next year or the next 2 years. It happens like 3 or 4 years later by the next term. So it's one of those things where, like, if a president starts to take credit for everything that's going right now, they also have to keep the same energy and take credit for when things go bad. So when Obama, I'm not saying Obama was the best president, but when Obama was in office, he put a lot of things in motion that started happening that first 2 years of Donald Trump. And so it looked good for Donald Trump to use these stats because it's his presidency at the moment. So it's like he's using these stats for his advantage during that time. And right now it's like things are coming to fruition. Like, well, that was like, 2015.
But that's what happens when a political change comes. The ones affected by the change, they just feel it immediately. And the benefits from that change, they take years. Yeah. So it's like a normal response of whatever is happening. But here, it seems that you cannot have the single positive opinion about the president. I mean, I'm not happy with this president, but I try not to be that, in the hate side and say everything is bad. No.
Too much too critical. You try not to be too critical.
But it looks like nowadays, everywhere in the world, you have to be either in the black or in the white.
Yeah.
And there's no critical position or a neutral or a good analytic view of the things that are happening. And
perfect. Yes.
You know what I mean? But
because it's not always black and white. I say it sometimes. It's not black and white. It's shades of gray in between.
But see, here's the thing, dude. Like, Donald Trump cries about everything, cries about the stats, cries about the news, cries about what people say, cries about dude, he's a fucking baby. That's what bothers me. He's a fucking baby. Just shut the fuck up and be the president. That's it.
And López Obrador is the same. They're so similar, man. I didn't think about that.
When Obama was president, he took more shit than any president I ever heard.
True that.
And dude, thick skin. Never did he fucking reply with the stupidity that this guy fucking replies with. He took it like a man, certificate? Bro. But he took it like a man, bro. I mean, racist shit. He was like Jackie Robinson. They were saying racist shit at him. They were fucking questioning his citizenship. They were fucking talking shit about his dad, his mom, talking shit about, everything. And and 8 years, for 8 years, he took that shit.
You know what?
Like a soldier.
Here in Mexico, it was the same. Peña Nieto, he took the shit, loads and loads of shit for him, for his wife, for his kids, for his stepkids, and things. And he just didn't respond.
Just went away.
That's the way a president should go. Because now that you're saying about this, it just happens. It happened the same here in Mexico. López Obrador is a baby. He just cries and responds to everything like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, what do you think is going to happen when you're president? You think motherfuckers are just going to be like, oh, yeah, whatever you say, señor presidente. No, motherfucker. Now people are going to question you even more. And you got to realize that everybody voted for you. So those people that didn't vote for you, they're not going to be like, oh, you won? Oh, okay. I think differently now. You're such a great guy. I mean, fucking, let's give everybody a chance. People are not like that. I'm like that. When Trump won the presidency, I said, fuck, I can't stand the shit he says. He says stupid shit, man. He offends people. He offended us, Latinos and Mexicans specifically, and I go, but you know what? I'm willing to give this guy a chance, bro. I mean, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if he says fucking Mexicans are gay, the reality is most people, for the most part, if your fucking bank account grows, then you're going to be like, fuck it, he's just dumb. He just says dumb shit. But goddamn, he's a good president.
But things are working, yeah.
The economy's booming. My stocks are up. My money's up. My paper's up. I got insurance. health insurance.
And I guess that's the problem. One of the problems with America, a lot of voters are one issue, like one topic voters. Like, I'm either going to vote for the economy, for the schools, abortion, like whatever he deals with, that my one issue that I care about, if he agrees with it, then that's who I'm voting for.
Well, Trump won because the Bernie fucking supporters said, I'm not voting for Hillary. And that's why Trump won. All the Bernie supporters.
It wasn't because of Russia?
Nah, fuck no, dude. Because he barely won. He barely beat Hillary. And all those Bernie supporters, fucking crybabies, a bunch of I can't stand those motherfuckers, dude. They're the worst. They're the worst. They're like the fucking, those are the hypocrites. Those are the ones that cry Black Lives Matter, but if they're alone in the street with a black person, they cross the street. That's who they fucking are. They're a bunch of phony fucks.
The Bernie supporters voted for Trump at the end?
No, they didn't vote for Trump. They didn't vote for anybody.
Okay.
So since Bernie, but that would have made a difference because those votes would have went to Hillary. Yeah. That's a lot of votes, man. That was a shitload of votes. So what they said was, well, Hillary Clinton got the fucking Democratic nomination, so I'm not going to vote for her. And so all they did was allow Trump to become president. That's all they fucking did.
They just watched.
Yeah.
And so now it's Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. And
Biden's crushing him right now, bro.
That's good because if it wasn't for the pandemic, there was no chance for Joe Biden, right?
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Because after the impeachment failed, I just thought this guy's going to win again.
It's sexual allegations versus sexual allegation, bro.
Yeah, damn it. Yeah, you're right, Cisco.
We got some pimps running for president.
Who can turn the money around the fastest?
Who's the biggest pimp here? Who can slap a bitch?
Grab them by the pussy.
Yeah. One grabs him by the pussy, one smacks him around. I don't know. What did Biden do? I know
he puts his arm around the young girls and he hugs them a little tight and just a little bit, and then yeah.
But he didn't grab him by the pussy. Shit.
You know what? People are gonna come out with videos and stuff soon enough. Because I just saw the first ad for Donald Trump going against Joe Biden, and I'm like, wait, like what channel am I watching? Of course it was Fox. And I was like, oh, Joe Biden, for the last 40 years he's been bad. He's gonna be bad for the next 4 years. And I was like, damn, yeah, they're gonna start slinging mud and start
They're always gonna
because Trump just got all his tweets. I don't know if I don't follow Trump, but a lot of people that retweet him. Like I see him he's posting a lot of people that were being caught vandalizing, rioting. Like he retweeted that guy who said white power. So Twitter is actually
that's what I was going to say about, because I just saw the news that Trump deletes tweet of supporters shouting white power.
Yeah. And so Trump tweets like a high school student, like, this is how I feel today, and then during lunch he deletes it, and then it's like, this is how I feel about my teacher, and then you get your teacher gives you a good grade, it's like, oh, let me delete this tweet. But it's yeah, I mean,
hey, but his wife is smart. She redid that prenuptial. She fucking renegotiated that shit as soon as she got Barron into the endowment or whatever the fuck we call it.
The trust.
She got Barron. She made sure Barron's taken care of because he wasn't in it.
Out of all Donald Trump's children, except for that blonde that's pretty hot who's smoking, I like Barron. I think Barron's gonna be a cool dude. Like I see him he grew like an extra 2 feet. I think this guy's going to be playing like volleyball or track or basketball. He's he's seeing all this behind the scenes stuff. Like he sees how he can either manipulate one side. Like I'm going to be watching Barron for the next 10, 12 years.
You think Barron and Choco Flan will be friends?
Definitely. That would be so funny that how old is Barron?
I want to say he's 15 or 14.
It would be so hilarious that they
I don't want to call him Choco Flan. What's his name, man? I don't know.
I don't know his name.
AMLO Jr.
I'm so Mr. Facts don't matter, but I'm gonna find out how old Barron Trump is right now. Even though Mr. Facts don't matter.
Fuck the facts. We don't here. Hey,
facts don't matter.
Yeah, here, Alex, we don't check the facts. We just say whatever the fuck we think. And
I know, but we have Google, so
might as well. Right?
12 years, Jesus Ernesto,
okay.
12 years. So
Jesus.
He's like the same age as Baron about. It would be so funny.
Yeah, he's 14. He's 14 years old. March 20th. Dang, he almost shares a birthday with me.
See, they could be friends.
It would be so funny that they both go to the same boarding school in Switzerland and suddenly they are best friends.
Hey, you know what's funny? Well, I know his last name is not Lopez Obrador, but if it was, his name would be Jello. Jesus Ernesto Lopez Obrador.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because
here first, boom.
Lopez Gutierrez. Lopez Gutierrez.
Oh, he's just Gel then. Gel G.
That's funny, man. His name Chocoflan, but his real name is Jello.
If he had his dad's last name, it's funny because in Mexico you got to put your mom's last name, or otherwise,
not necessarily, but we use them. Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise they won't know which Jesus Lopez you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's Jesus Lopez Gutierrez. Okay, yeah, I know that.
What's your name, Cisco? What's your real name? Francisco?
Francisco Clemente Saldaña Osuna.
Wow. I'm going to call you Pancho from now on.
Pancho.
Hey, Pancho, ¿qué pedo?
Cisco for short.
Cisco.
Cisco when the water's cold. Francisco when the water's cold.
This guy.
You never heard that joke? You
no.
Heard that joke? This guy says, he said, this man came up to me and was like, hey, boy. He said, what'd you call me, motherfucker? He said, I said, boy. I said, oh, you must have seen me when the water was real cold.
Wow, good.
No, yeah, dude. It's I don't know which direction the countries are gonna go, man. I mean, quite honestly,
the world,
but and then also you add the factor of relationships. Like, I mean, as far as I've seen, AMLO is like doesn't have a problem with Trump at all.
No, of course, and he's like licking his balls now because we didn't know our president was going to go to the White House, but suddenly Trump says, I think he's coming pretty soon. And next week, AMLO's coming to the White House. And they're both like anti-COVID and it doesn't exist. I don't use, how do you call the mask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't use mask. And at least a couple of secretaries got the COVID. They work with the president, and he doesn't want to take the test. He's like, no, I don't need the test. I'm protected. I'm fine. And now he's going to have to take the test to go to the White House. Now he's doing it.
Let me ask you something. If Jesus Ernesto came to your house, knocked on your door, and tried to sell you choco flan, would you buy it off him?
Of course.
If it's fresh.
Yeah.
You would buy it?
Yeah, of course.
Why?
I mean, if it's a slice, I can't eat a whole choco flan.
No, I'm talking about slice. Yeah, like little plastic.
Yes, probably
little plastic container. Disculpe, señor, estamos vendiendo chocoflan porque queremos ir a visitar al presidente en Los Pinos. Es de mi escuela. Like, and you'd be like, oh, yeah, I support you, but cut that hair, motherfucker, because they're going to call you chocoflan.
On least it's like for supporting a campaign for his father. I just wouldn't buy it, but yeah, I definitely would. That's a souvenir,
Yeah. Do they have that? Do they have people like this, like kids? They make them sell things at the store. I've never seen that in Mexico.
The Boy Scouts.
Like they want to go on a trip, so they have kids.
Like they sell chocolates.
But it just happens in their school environment. It's just for them because it's not really safe to go out and sell door by door here in Mexico.
No, why not? What would happen?
I don't know. It's just dangerous for a kid to go outside and go to the streets alone. It's not safe.
Do adults cuss at kids? Like, vete a chingar tu madre, cabrón. Like,
maybe. I mean, if you do it in your neighborhood, probably most of the people will know your kid and whatever, but it's not a really good idea.
So so let's go to this. How different is Cuautitlán Izcalli from Mexico City? How different is it?
Oh, it's two different worlds, man.
Really?
Yeah.
The people, how are the people different?
Well, where I grew up, it's more like a big, it's like a forest, with big houses. It's not necessarily big houses with money. It's just big terrains with people living more like a rural life. I remember in the corner of my street, there was an establo with cows and horses and rancheros.
That's pretty cool, man.
Not really.
No?
It's cool if you're in some county with money in Los Angeles, but not. I mean, sometimes I would open my door and there was horse shit all over. And
really,
yeah. I mean, I didn't grow up in a farm, but it was really more like a rural sort of life. And
so it's like a town where there's still cars and horses.
Yeah, something like that. And most of my friends they have more money and they lived in a more urban area. And my school was like a very profile,
Oh, really?
Yeah, and more conservative and church and, And here in the city, it's like most of the cities. You have everything from everything all the time. And you have culture and you have the vibe of the city, but you have the poor people, begging for money. And you have the people that, maybe will rob you if you go out of the metro. And you have, it's just crazy. It's just like every big city. It's very different.
What is something from Cuautitlan that you would bring to the Mexico City? And what is something from Mexico City that you would like to bring to Cuautitlan?
I would definitely bring nature, more trees, more space, more, the life is definitely slower there. So I definitely would bring that and the space.
Sounds like where my mom's from. That's where my mom's from. It's un rancho. Where my mom's from.
It's like I mean, I didn't grow up in a rancho, but it looked a lot like a rancho. Okay. And I mean, my apartment is like the size of my, I don't know. My mom's house is like triple the size of these, Yeah. And I could live. Most of my friends live in the state of Mexico in bigger houses with gardens and stuff. But I wouldn't change living in the city for that. You know what I mean?
Why not? Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you?
Because I like the city, man. I like the culture, the music, the theater, the clubs, the comedy, walking everywhere. I mean, you have to have a car. To live in those places, you need to have a car. I mean, in Los Angeles, you need to have a car.
Yeah, as well. Here we gotta have a car.
Here we can walk. I mean, I go everywhere walking, and I don't need. I'm gonna sell my car because I don't use it.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. In Mexico City, you don't really need a car. I got around pretty fine with Lyft and Uber and buses and the metro, el metro. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. And the metro is like what, 55 pesos?
Yeah, that's a quarter.
I remember I was there in Mexico City, and it went from 3 pesos to 5 pesos.
And it was a big scandal.
And the people were fucking pissed. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, fuck, dude. I remember when here in the United States, it was 50 cents to ride the bus. This is a long time ago. I was a little kid. It went from 50 cents to $1. That was a big jump, dude. Like now you were paying
125.
You're paying double to travel wherever. I mean, back and forth. And then you had to buy a transfer. Like here, they used to have a transfer. So pagabas 50 centavos, and then you would pay 10 cents extra, and they'd give you a papelito. And you could jump, with that little papelito, you could jump on another bus, like going somewhere else. You didn't have to pay again. Just you paid a fraction of the cost. Now they don't have none of that shit. Now it's $1.50, $1.75.
Yeah, $1.75.
It's $1.75. So think about that.
$7 for the whole day pass.
It's like 35 pesos. 35 pesos about.
Más o menos, right? No, como 20, no?
How much? 175?
Yeah, $1.75. How much is $1? So like 40 pesos, you're right.
38 pesos.
So 38 pesos, bro. It's 38 pesos, and every bus you get on, you gotta pay another 38 pesos.
I know, but the thing is, like for example, the girl that helps us here in the house, she needs to take a metro and a couple of other Metrobus. She ends up spending about 50 pesos to get here and 50 pesos to go there, because she has to change a lot of transports. So she ends.
Where does she live about? Whereabouts she live in Estado?
Chimalhuacan in the east, but like an hour from here east.
Jesus. And dude,
So,
do most of the cleaning ladies and all that travel from far away like that?
Yeah, most of them. Yeah, because it's just too expensive to live here. They couldn't afford to live here.
Yeah. Fuck.
For what they make. I mean, we pay her 350 pesos for a day. That's cheap. I mean, but that's the prices we pay here.
Yeah. 350 pesos.
I know in the United States it's all different here, but like the fee for a day of service is like 350 pesos, and she spends like 80 pesos to get here.
Jesus.
So
damn.
And to go back home, to go back home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And then you add up the rain and traffic, and we don't have a really efficient public transportation system. So it's
well, shit. The streets are confusing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, in Mexico City, you ask somebody how to get somewhere, they don't know. Nobody knows. Like you say, oiga, ¿me puede decir dónde está la calle Tamaulipas? And I, no sé. I'm like, fuck, you live here. How do you not know?
Yeah. There's some apps that can guide you through the public transportation system, but it's very confusing. Two
things you don't ask for in Mexico. It's directions and change. Nobody ever has fucking change. Disculpe, ¿me puede cambiar este billete de 100? Oh, no tengo cambio. I'm like, fuck. How
Not
do you run a
even
business?
taxi drivers.
How do you run a business with no change, dude? God damn.
Yeah.
They don't want to. That's what it is. It's not like they can't change.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want to.
It's very Mexican. And I mean, if you drive a cab or you do whatever you do and you need change, it's part of your job to always have this change.
Yeah.
And they just want to do that extra job.
They want to jack you. Is what it is. Like for you to say,
maybe
mejor quédese
round everything up.
It's like mejor quédese con los 200. Entonces, like they want you to say that. That's what it is, dude.
Yeah. What
have you ever done that? Have you ever done that? Have you ever just said, fuck it, just keep the 150 or
yeah,
whatever?
Of course. Yeah. And what they did in small shops where you go and buy, I don't know, a Coke and a chips and whatever.
Navarrotes or what?
Navarrotes, and they owed you, let's say, 250 pesos or whatever. They just go, I don't have change. Take a chicle.
Yeah.
Maybe a chicle of 56 cents a chicle.
Like,
so they sell more chicles and
I don't
get
want
your
a fucking
money.
chicle, motherfucker. I don't want no chicle. Is that your daughter right there? No, I'm just kidding.
No, this guy.
How old is she? No, I'm just kidding. She looks about 22. Nah. Does she like comedy? Nah.
Does she like comedy?
I got a show at Beer Hall tonight, 7:00, baby. Come through.
Definitely.
Hey, dude. It's funny because I was at tell Jose because Jose has no idea about Beer Hall. So Beer Hall is like this little ass. It's a little ass bar, bro. It's a little ass lounge. I would say like a little lounge. It's like a lounge.
I'm picturing like Angel City Brewery or something like that.
I've never been inside Angel City. I've never been inside Angel City Brewery, but it's like, okay, let me explain to you what it's like. Somewhere that maybe I think remember Bar 107?
Yes.
It's like that.
Okay.
Just a little wider. I think it packed.
Without the horse on the bar.
I mean, I think he used to get like 60 people in there, but fuck, man, it's not made for 60 or more, or maybe a little more. I don't know.
I've never heard anyone say it's wider than Beer Hall.
No. Beer Hall's a little wider than.
Exactly. I've never heard Beer Hall was wider.
Yeah. Well,
no, because this bar is tiny.
Well, because Beer Hall doesn't have a bar per se.
Yeah,
it doesn't have a bar.
Oh, it doesn't? Okay.
No, it has a kitchen, and they bring all the drinks from the kitchen. It's like a little kitchen. It's a house, bro, that they turned into a bar. That's what it is.
Okay.
So it's got
then it must be really good then.
It's pretty cool, dude. It's unique. It's got 3 entrances. It's a house. So it's got 3 entrances. It's got one way in the back by the restrooms. Then it's got one in the middle. Then you get to the corner, and you go around the corner. There's another door to go in. There's 3 entrances because it's a home that they turned into a business.
Yeah.
And it had like a little living room area, which was the green room.
You want to know something, Cisco? We've been talking to all your friends on this podcast. Like, I really want to go to Mexico. I don't know if you're going to be able to roll, but I would want to go to Mexico and meet all your friends and, because I got family down there too.
I'm afraid of this coronavirus right now, bro.
Shut the fuck up. I would want to just to go and just like experience some of this, dude. Like I haven't been to Mexico in about maybe 6 years.
We gotta go visit your family, so we go to La Basilica, man.
Why not? Let's go.
That's the only thing.
You have family living near La Basilica?
Yeah. Well, a little bit further away. That's where they originally started living, and then they live a little bit further away now. My oldest cousin, she married this guy who had some money, and now they're in like some little enclosed
Lomas de Chapultepec, some little neighborhood.
No, it's gated. It's a gated community. It's
like
pretty nice.
I said, Lomas de Chapultepec.
Yeah, but no, I got family in Mexico. I still got my aunts, my uncles. I got cousin, and then I got another cousin.
Where around Martin Carrera?
I don't know.
That's a neighborhood around La Villa. Most neighborhoods around La Villa are very tough.
I do remember, when I went there, I almost got kidnapped twice. And I clearly remember this because I was coming down the stairs, and then this old lady was like, "Oh, like here, I'll help you find somebody." And I was like, "Okay." And then it wasn't until like my aunt.
Oh, you were a
down.
little kid.
I was like 7 or 8.
I thought as an adult. I was like, what the fuck are you doing getting kidnapped, motherfucker?
No, I would want to get kidnapped by an older lady if I was at that point. But no, I remember I tell this all the time. It's like Febrero 14, Noviembre 18, something like that, streets.
20 de noviembre, dude.
20 de noviembre, 5 de febrero.
Something like that, yeah. But yeah.
All he knows is a Basilica. That's all he knows.
Yeah, and then yeah.
I don't even know where that is. I've never been there.
Next time I'll take you. And you like pork?
He's trying to sneak away. He's trying to sneak away and have some pork and shrimp.
No, because just very, very close, very near to the Basilica, there are the mejor carnitas in Mexico City.
Is that the ones that's on that YouTube show? There's a YouTube show where they go to all
Las Crónicas del Taco. I don't think they're there. No.
They didn't go there?
No,
check out this other taco show. It's on Vice Munchies, and it's on Vice Munchies, and it's all about tacos.
That's the one I'm talking about because that was on YouTube. That's the one I saw on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Taco Chronicles, that was on Netflix.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So
check out the YouTube one. It's Vice Munchies, and then tacos, and then
my favorite
2 seasons.
Munchies.
Alex, my favorite tacos are still el pescadito, man. I love those fucking tacos, man.
Yeah, because you're from Sonora. Where are you from?
Sinaloa.
Well, you're from Sinaloa.
Yeah, I love those tacos. Oh my God, I love those fucking tacos. I don't even eat fish tacos in California.
Really?
Well, I never eat fish tacos here. But when I go there, when I go to Mexico City, that's the next day. Like if I arrive today at night, the next day I'm going to pescadito. And the only thing is you gotta get there early because the fucking line is ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. It's just around the corner from here. I'm not a big fan of el pescadito.
No, you don't like chiles rellenos, you don't like marlin and all that.
I like marlin, but what I don't like is to make the queue, the line. I don't like to stand there.
Yeah, me either. That's why I don't.
And it's always crowded as shit. So,
but you know,
they're nice.
We always went early, and we always got our we didn't. Yeah, because you know what's fucked up is they hold the line because they only have a certain amount of tables, so you got to wait for people to leave so you can sit down. So they won't serve the next person unless you're gonna get them to go. Like if you're gonna order to go, I guess you can order. But if you're saying, "Oh, I'm dining in," we don't have any.
Oh, it's a restaurant.
Yeah, it's a little restaurant. They got like.
Okay.
It's not like they don't have taco carts over there like here. I mean, they do have the ones around the corner from Beer Hall. That's a carreta, like a carreta. But this is a little restaurant in the corner. There's 2 of them. I think I've only been to the one in Condesa, I want to say in Condesa. Those are the ones I went to. I've never been to the other ones.
They're just around the corner from my home. It's Atlisco and Eje 3. Yeah,
that's the one. Atlisco, yeah, fucking good as shit. And I was telling, I was getting mad at Juan Carlos. Was it Juan Carlos or no Horacio? Because I told Horacio, you never took me to las tortas de chilaquil or whatever, la calle del chilaquil. I never had those. La
esquina del chilaquil.
La esquina. I never had those. I heard those are good.
Well, you gotta come back soon, and I'll take you to all those delicious places.
I want to go. Mira, the reason I stopped going, bro, is because I want to go. I want to take my kids. I want to take my family. That's why. You know what I mean? Like I I felt like it was a little selfish of me to keep traveling by myself. And shit. I'm staying.
I get it.
I'm staying with, you know what I mean? Like if you go somewhere and you don't take Leia and you don't, or you know what I mean? Now you have a kid, but if you don't take Leia, you kind of feel a little guilty. Like I should have brought you have more, honestly, dude, I'm a dude that have more fun with my wife. My wife is fucking funny as fuck, dude. She cracks me up, dude. Like, and she's, you know, she's from Sinaloa. Es brava la cabrona, dude. Like, you know,
nice.
Like she'll stand up to the cops. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a little bitch. But ella es de México, así que vas a chingar a tu madre, güey. Aquí que no vengas a chingar y la chingada.
Qué like, chingón. Pues bueno, vengan y acá nos vamos a pasar muy bien cuando puedan venir.
My sister-in-law lives over there. Vive en Colonia del Valle. So that's who I stay with when I go. Con mi cuñada.
Oh, so nice.
Why, what? Is that nice or what?
Well, it's nicer than most of the
Bro,
fucking around.
The buildings next door to her fell during the earthquake. You can't be nice and fucking have your shit falling. Come on, dude.
Yeah, but la Colonia del Valle is like
it's posh.
It's posh, yeah.
Really?
It's not Las Lomas, but it's nice. So
it's crazy. But you know what's crazy about Mexico City is you can go into a good neighborhood, then to a bad neighborhood, then a good neighborhood, then a bad neighborhood. Like everything is in between everything. That's fucking crazy, exactly. Dude. I mean, it's kind of like
you can be playing golf and there's just a fence and poor lost cities.
Jesus,
happens all the time. Yeah.
Hey, do they still have did you ever see that movie, De La Calle? Do they still have those kids that live under the city? Does that still exist? Really?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So do you ever see them? Do you know who they are? Like, do you see them come up?
Well,
or you just don't know who they are. They could be anybody in between everybody.
Most of them are just cleaning windshields and on the
corners,
stoplights. And they live in whatever they can, man. I mean, some live in underground, some live under the bridge, some live in, whatever they can find some space.
You ever seen that movie, Jose? De La Calle?
No, I haven't.
Oh, check that out, bro. I seen that movie. It's a long time ago. It came out a long time ago, like early 2000s. Like 2000, like around 2000, 2001.
De La Calle?
Yeah. And
De La Calle, that's the name of the movie.
This is before I'd ever been to Mexico, so I didn't know, like shit like that. When I saw that, I was like, fuck, see these people. But I mean, it's no different than here. So here, the problem, Alex, is that it's like Mexico City, the cost of living is so fucking expensive, bro. The cost of living is so expensive that now you see tents in the street. People.
I've been to the Skid Row. It's.
Oh yeah, dude, you're the one that got me. He's the one that got me into the premiere of Gloria. And they weren't gonna. And they were. He was. You had to go up in the beginning.
You went. You were there. Yeah,
right there in LA Live, bro, at the Regency Theater. Yeah, dude. So they weren't. Did I tell you they weren't gonna let me in? So here's a story. They weren't gonna let me into the fucking theater. They weren't gonna let me in to see the movie. And the only reason they let me in is because when I was walking in, Adal was walking out. And I said, "Hey, Adal, ¿qué onda, cabrón? ¿Cómo estás?" And the motherfucker looked at me like, "Oh, you know him? Yeah, oh yeah, you could come in." Otherwise, they weren't gonna let me in, bro. They weren't letting me in. They weren't gonna fucking, and you put my name. I remember you put my name.
Yeah, I put your name.
I had to leave early. I didn't even finish seeing the end of I see it now, the whole movie, but pretty good movie. But I had to leave. I can't remember why the fuck I had to leave. I think my wife was calling me or some shit. That's usually when you're married, the reason you gotta leave is because your wife's calling. Like, I gotta fucking go.
Yeah.
My wife, bro. I don't want to hear. I rather you talk shit about me than hear my wife's mouth. Fucking yeah, I gotta sleep. I gotta sleep.
You gotta pick the least of two evils.
That's why, like married men, we don't care if you call us little bitch. I'd rather you call me little bitch than my wife call me little bitch. You know what I mean?
So she's from Sinaloa?
Yeah, de Mazatlan.
Oh, nice. Mazatlan is very nice, very fun.
My mom's from Sinaloa. She's from el municipio de Concordia, which is right next to Mazatlan, because Mazatlan's a municipio too, and but it's more rural. Like my mom's more closer to the sierra, like the mountains and all that. But I love it. It's natural. But yeah, you're right. It's like It's somewhere you want to vacation, not live. I'm sure Coatitlán Izcalli is like a good place to go relax and, get away for a while. No, tampoco.
There's some beautiful places, but in general, you wouldn't vacation at all there. But Sinaloa is a beautiful state.
No, I'm not saying vacation, but like you, for instance, you live in the city, right? You're in the city 365 days a year. And you just say, let's get away for the weekend. And you just go to Coatitlán Izcalli. Yeah. Relax.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather go to Cuernavaca or, to the south. Have you been to Cuernavaca, Tepoztlán?
That's where everybody goes, huh? I heard my friend was trying to convince me to move to Tepoztlán. She was telling me to move there. But I was looking, they only have one road in, one road out, bro. Yeah. And everybody's a hippie. But
for a weekend, whenever you come, we should go for a weekend in Tepoztlán. For a weekend, it's perfect. You get really good food and nature, and it's very
acid,
beautiful.
mushroom, fucking.
Of course, if you want to.
I heard it's a bunch of hippies. There.
Yeah.
Really? ¿Y qué hablan? ¿Hablan inglés o español?
No, español.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, Americans and Europeans and, people looking for their center. But it's a very nice place to go.
I saw pictures like in the middle of like hills and shit. Like,
yeah, it's beautiful. And they say it's like a magnetic portal for your, energy and whatever.
There you go, Jose. Have you been there?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you're into all that.
I want to travel, man. I want to check it out.
This guy does all that yoga and meditation and all that. I don't know.
Now you're gonna love Tepoztlán. Whenever I hear your name, I remember this joke about these firefighters. You know that?
No.
Which one?
There were two Latin firefighters, Jose and Jose B.
Jose. No, but
Jose and Jose B.
It's funny that you brought up Cuernavaca because I saw on the news that they didn't let the president into Cuernavaca. They trató de meterse a Cuernavaca and they blocked his ass. Like, when the fuck do you ever hear of a country, like people, the citizens, not allowing the president to go where he wants to go? What kind of shit is that, dude?
That's some gangster shit, though.
That is gangster.
Because the president has this speech of, being more into the town and with the pueblo and with the people. And so he doesn't use a private airplane. He flies commercial. Mm-hmm. So he puts himself in that position where, fuck? Yeah, he flies commercial.
That's risky, bro.
Didn't you hear about he was, estaba rifando un avión? Didn't you hear about that?
No.
What the fuck?
That's why we say Mexico is like a fucking Simpsons episode. Peña Nieto it was Calderón bought a really nice presidential airplane. It was our Air Force One.
Yeah.
And so Peña Nieto spent like millions of dollars putting, special seats and offices in the airplane. It's a huge airplane. And López Obrador said, if I get to the office, I'm going to sell that motherfucking plane. I don't need that shit. So he returned the airplane to the Boeing company or whatever. It stayed in the desert, just sitting there. We're paying the rent for the maintenance. And nobody bought the airplane. Obviously, no one's going to buy an airplane that size. And even a, fucking Arab,
Prince or whatever.
Wherever, nobody bought it. So here comes the airplane back to Mexico, and he made a rifa. He to everyone.
A
so
raffle.
You could buy a raffle. You can buy a ticket. So we're gonna pay again for that plane. And when all this shit was happening with the rifa, the pandemic came and we stopped talking about that, pero iba a rifar el avión. Entonces él vuela por commercial, él no usa avión privado porque él quiere estar con el pueblo. Entonces cuando llega a los pueblos, pues la gente pues va con él y no lo deja o sí o lo que sea, ¿no?
That's crazy because you know how when you fly, you say, oh, guess who was riding on my plane? Oh, fucking Brad Pitt was sitting next to me. Dude, guess who was right next to me? Shit, the president of Mexico. And he had a middle seat. He was
You
fun.
said it. it's difficult. It's dangerous for a president, and for the country as well, because if a president got killed in, whatever happens, it's a big problem for the country.
Yeah, who becomes president? Who's the vice president? You guys don't have a vice president, right? They don't.
No vice president?
No, they don't have a vice president.
No, we don't have a vice president. We have something like that, which is like the Secretario de Gobernación, which is like the second.
Yeah.
But I think you have a Secretary of the State, right?
Yeah, Secretary of State. But it's if the president dies, it's the
vice president goes
takes
immediately.
Over. And I think if the vice president dies, it might be Secretary of State, or it might be
Secretary of State,
or is it Speaker of the House?
No, Secretary of State.
Secretary of State. Okay, so yeah, Secretary of State's third. Which fuck, dude. If something happened to Trump, people want Trump. We'd get Mike Pence, and Mike Pence is no walk in the park either.
Yeah, he's worse than Trump.
He's worse. He's a really like far right motherfucker. The only thing is he won't tweet, he won't talk shit. But well, that speaks better of him than Trump. He's a better politician. Yeah, he's a straight up politician. But I think Trump kind of like copied like Obama. Not because Obama didn't tweet regular stupid shit, whatever. But like Trump tried to be hip like Obama, because Obama was hip. He started tweeting. He was doing all that. But I guess because Twitter came around when he was president, right? I mean,
2009, 2008.
Yeah, so
it just went wrong with Trump.
Yeah, it just fucking went wrong. We gave that power to the wrong person. The fucking POTUS.
And tell me, what about this book, Bolton? This guy Bolton, the book where he talks about all that shit happening in the White House.
Oh yeah, yeah, Bolton, and he tried to discredit him the other day. And it's funny because everybody he fires writes a book and says, fuck it, this is the shit that went down in the White House. Like, everybody, even the guy that supposedly was from the KKK, what was his name? This is like last year or 2 years ago, he fired his ass.
Yeah.
The racist motherfucker. He's a real racist. I can't remember. Oh, God, he had ties to like the Nazis or some shit, or I can't remember his name.
I can't think of it, but I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Big guy.
He was a lawyer. He's a lawyer for him.
Was he a lawyer?
He even looks like a 1970s villain. Oh my goodness.
I can't remember his. No, I don't think he was the lawyer. Was he the lawyer?
All these guys are villains from the 70s.
I thought he was like Attorney General or Secretary of State or something like that. I can't remember his.
Michael Cohen.
No, that's not who I'm talking about. See, I'm not talking about him. No, it was another dude. But he's fucking like, they said he's dangerous because he has ties.
Michael Cohen, where is this guy?
See, no me acuerdo el pinche nombre. Anyways, moving on. But yeah, dude, everybody he fires or everybody that leaves the White House, like says, I'm gonna fucking drop dime. Like I'm gonna let it all out. And it's like, and then he just starts talking shit about them. Like, he's a phony fuck. I'm like, dude, you hired him. You fucking hired him, and now you're bashing the guy. Stop. Like after they leave, he talks shit about him, and like that's the person you thought was best for the job, and now you got nothing.
Roger Stone.
No, tampoco.
Dang it! But he's the one with the freaking.
Wow.
Was that Richard Nixon?
Yeah, he has a Richard Nixon tattoo, and if you were to search Roger Stone, he dresses really cool. Like I like his style. But he dresses like a villain. Like, let me see.
What's his name again?
Roger Stone. He just Google Roger Stone outfits.
Oh, he looks like a guy from Al Capone.
He looks like a villain.
Oh, no,
he looks like a villain.
He's like really. You can't see it on my phone.
I can see it.
He's a very. I think he's a very handsome, dressed, like elegant type too. But he's just like a very
nice suits.
You know, it's funny, dude. I was watching.
He has a freaking Richard Nixon tattoo on his back.
I was watching. If you go on YouTube, they have these videos of Los Angeles, New York, San Francisco, like in the 20s, the 10s, to early 1900s, and it's crazy because everybody wore a suit, man. Everybody wore a suit in the streets. Even the poor kids. You see the poor kids running around. They got a fucking vest on and a button shirt.
Like gabardine pants and everything. Yeah, man.
I'm like, when did shit change? Like now, look at us. We're fucking out there in fucking huaraches,
sweatpants.
Now everybody dresses like a bum.
Yeah. Everybody dresses like they're homeless now.
Look at me. I have a wife beater now.
Oh, but
is that politically correct to say, wife beater?
Well, I don't know. That's the way you call this, yeah, right? That's
or Italians. I call them guinea tees.
Guinea tees, because you always see them in the movies. They always wearing them, right? Yeah. How would you say that in Spanish? Like golpea esposas.
Ajá. Golpeador, golpea esposa, sí.
Tráeme mi golpea esposa, mi golpea esposa.
No es correcto decir wife beater de mi playera.
No, they do say they call it a wife.
Yeah,
a wife.
But it's not correct to say guinea tea either. But
why is guinea tea?
Guinea is a racial slur for Italians.
They call Italians guineas.
But you always see them like with those white ones, right? And they're
okay.
So it's a guinea T-shirt for them.
I never got
it all depends on the context or whatever you say. I mean,
I never got that guinea. I never got that. Like, why do they call them guineas? I don't understand.
Because of the guinea pigs?
Maybe. Are they Italian? Guinea pigs are Italian?
No.
See, that's why I never got it. I never understood that. You know, fucking. There's a lot of shit, a lot of racist terms I, fucking never understood. Just like gook, like they used to call the Vietnamese gooks. What the fuck? That makes no sense. Yeah,
what is that?
That makes no sense.
It's another racial slur for them.
Yeah, it's a racist. Like you don't say that around like a Vietnamese person or whatever. But I never got that. I don't like people make up offensive words that are stupid, dude.
Like puto.
I'm not saying that I could come up with better ones. I'm just saying that there's, I would have said
I can
this.
if you give me enough time.
Yeah, like it's just stupid shit, man. Like, who sits there and just thinks of like, how can I fucking offend somebody? And that's
Chocoflan.
Yeah. What's interesting is like we say a lot of shit. Excuse me. We say a lot of shit that we don't mean. Like, and I think like you just say the worst shit just to like win an argument. Like that's why it's the lowest form of arguing is just to call names. Like, my wife and I have gotten into it, and then I'll be like, whatever the fuck, and I'll say and I don't even mean it. I just say it, and she's all fucking hurt for like a month and shit.
Well, I guess that's the same. That's the same
loose
thing.
Loose vagina. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the same thing Trump does, right? Like he'll look for the extreme and then backtrack it. Like he'll backpedal it a little bit.
Okay, what's the worst thing you could call a woman? I think it's bitch. I think you call a woman that's
see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
I think the worst thing I've said to a woman would be culera, maybe.
You never said puta?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, not even to a whore. Hey, puta, ¿cuánto? Like,
No. But it's
no,
the same,
it's like bitch. Like, yeah, I've never called a woman a bitch. I've said it to like my friend, like Jose, man, I went to the store and the lady there was acting like a bitch, bro. Like, but I don't think that's the same as saying, hey, you fucking bitch. Like,
it's not the same. It's like the word cunt. Apparently, it's a very offensive word, and
that's why I called it "See you next Tuesday."
Oh, see you next Tuesday. Hey, so in England, that's a word they use. They throw that shit around like nothing. It's like,
but I just don't get what's the offensive side of it. I didn't grow with that.
I don't know. I mean, I know what a cunt is.
We all know what a cunt is.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I guess, you're a pussy. I mean, what's the difference if you call somebody a pussy?
Like, for example, the word puto, we use it all the time, and it not necessarily refers to a homosexual person.
Yeah, it doesn't. I know.
I mean, not at all. These times refers to in the offensive. What's the word? In the offensive context, I never use it for a homosexual.
Yeah.
We just, and Manuna is always not. He's gay, and I'm not like I just use it like a regular word, and he's like, don't say that word because that's the last word someone murdered for being gay heard when he was being murdered. I said, I don't know if I'm buying that. I mean,
but I mean, I'm sure there's straight people who got pinche puto, and that was the last word they heard when they got killed. Honestly, because I've said pinche, I've said pinche puto to lots of people, and they weren't just that. They weren't gay. It's like a word you use. Hey, pinche. Like
and they weren't dying.
No, they weren't dying. No, but I'm saying like you think.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what you should tell them. Like, say, I'm pretty sure a lot of straight men heard that word too before they were killed. Like pinche puto and
I guess you say it just to demasculinize somebody, or call them a wuss or a sissy or something.
Would that be an offense these days? It shouldn't. It's like.
What, puto? Well, look at the fucking soccer games. You can't even say puto no more because it's homophobic.
Yeah.
Here in the United States, you can't say it. They kick you out of the stadium.
Same here.
Puto. I'm like, fuck, you're gonna kick 3,000 people out?
They do. They shut the game down and they just
really.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because it was like in the news.
But they still do it. I watch games and I still hear it.
Well, in Mexico, they said that if the people do that, the game got suspended. If the la porra grita puto.
But that's because of the influence of FIFA, and FIFA is the one putting
that's
the
FIFA. That's FIFA.
Because Mexico wouldn't give a shit. If let's be honest, they wouldn't give a shit. I thought it was funny, bro. I mean,
the best trash talk ever.
Dude, in Tijuana, they have a song that they sing about the goalie. They go, que la vengan a ver, que la vengan a ver. Ese no es un portero, es una puta de cabaret. That's what they sing to the goalie. So you know what I mean? How do you you're taking the fun out of it? I guess, man, you don't want little kids hearing that shit. I mean,
yeah.
Again, right? Like people. I mean, we're gonna have to unlearn certain things and grow up. Like, you have kids. Both of you guys have kids. You guys want to teach the next generation better than what you were taught, right? Like, you're gonna teach them some of your traditions, but then you're also gonna try to teach them and help them unlearn certain things that are not gonna serve them.
But that's a good example of what you're saying, though. So, and my response to that is, I grew up with it. I'm not a horrible person. At least I don't consider myself a horrible person. I don't do malicious things to people. I don't have malicious intents towards people. And I grew up like that. So why can't my kids grow up that and learn the difference between right and wrong? If you can't teach kids right without teaching them what's wrong, because then nothing makes sense.
Good point.
You can't have good if you don't have evil.
And you know what? Whatever words or images or whatever you remove from what you grew with, and try to avoid your kids, try to hide it from your kids. I'm going to say this in Spanish. It's going to be easier. Si tienes un hijo y quieres como quitar todo lo malo y tratar de que eso no
evitarlo
permee en su educación, algo peor va a llegar, güey, que a lo mejor ni te imaginas. O sea, siempre va a haber algo negativo que rodee la educación de un hijo. Entonces, como que, no sé, es raro, ¿no?
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
But as parents, you're going to want to teach them to help them, comprehend it.
Well,
and then, again, they're going to come up with their own conclusions, whether they listen to you when they're 8 and whether they're like, screw it, I'm 18 now, I can do whatever I want, let me experience it, let me do this, or let me say this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like people who say, well, I got to move out of this neighborhood because I don't want my kids to grow up in this neighborhood. And then I'm like, I get that. I mean, but I don't think you have to leave the neighborhood because you grew up in this neighborhood and you turned out all right. And that's what do you call it? That's a credit to your parents. Your parents raised you correctly. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you raise your kids right, you can raise them anywhere. They could go to any school. They could go to, they can come out on top.
I agree.
That's just you, bro. That's just us. Like, look, my kids, I told my kids, I said, I know you're gonna cuss. I know you're gonna say bad words, and I don't care if you say them. I don't care if you say bad words with your friends or whatever. But if I hear an adult come to me saying they heard you say that shit, you're in trouble, because you're gonna have respect. You don't talk like that in front of adults. It's called responsible for your actions and respect and responsibility, because they're gonna cut. I'm not stupid. I know my son's over there with his friends going, fuck that shit. You know, like, I did that. I didn't do it in front of my mom.
How old are your kids?
My son's 14 and the other one's 11.
Well, I didn't know they were so grown
big.
up.
Yeah, they're big already, man. But he's already like
it's a tough age, right?
Pero les tengo que decir, no? I mean, like, you gotta tell them you're not stupid. That you didn't say bad words when you weren't in front of your mom. Did you cuss?
No.
Did you cuss? No?
No, I didn't know. Even now, like, I don't cuss in front of my mom.
No, I'm saying when your parents weren't around, when you were with your friends, did you cuss when you were
young?
Yeah,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So, but what was more embarrassing to your mom? That you cussed in front of your friends, or that like la vecina came, oye, Alex, y estamos usando un vocabulario que, que no me gustó, or you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the biggest embarrassment, bro, is that you don't want, our parents tell us don't cuss because they're embarrassed of what people are going to say, like maleducado, grosero, malcriado. That's the worst thing you call a kid, pinche niño malcriado, or squinkle malcriado. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I'm a realist. My kids ain't angels. My kids they're kids, and I want them to be kids, and the influences they're going to have, you just got to lead them down the right path. You tell them there's a time and a place for everything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I cuss in front of my kids. And people say, I know some people look down on it, but I don't give a fuck. Like, to be honest with you.
I'm just impressed how babies, because Hannah is still a baby. I mean, she's not a baby anymore, but
you're not gonna go to your daughter at 3 years old and go, Hannah, bring me the fucking spoon, all right? Come here.
No, of course not.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm impressed how there's not like a day when you say, okay, from this day on, I just can't say anything because she's a recorder.
But she's gonna be in the back seat of the car or whatever. You and your wife are gonna be having a conversation. Dile que chinga su madre. Like, your wife's gonna tell you, sigue jodiendo este cabrón que si vamos a ir a la fiesta. Dile que chinga su madre. You know what I mean? Like, and your daughter's gonna be like, what the fuck does that mean? You know what I mean? Like it's just gonna happen, bro. Or like, you're not gonna look back and go, oh shit, Hannah heard me. Like you might cuss again. You'd be like, oh shit, I forgot you were there. Like it's just gonna happen. People who try to live in that world, like, where they try to overprotect their kids, they're just not living in the reality, man. Because eso no tiene nada que ver con, that has nothing to do with, like, you're rich or you're poor or you're educated or you're not. It's just being real and and doing. Look, man, there's no perfect parent. We know the people who grew up poor and fucking became big successes, and we know people who grew up rich and are fucking drug addicts and failures. So there's no recipe for the correct way, man.
I read some news, like something like from Onion News or something like that.
The Onion.
Recent
really
studies.
I read that all the time. That's our Bible. That's our Bible.
It's just a joke, but it says something like recent studies. I don't remember how it said, but básicamente decía, estudios recientes demuestran que cualquier tipo de paternidad crea güeyes de la verga. Así decía.
Dude, I like the way you sent me me mandaste esas fotitos a la verga.
Oh, it's a wing with a penis?
A chicken wing with a penis.
Yeah.
I was busting up when I saw
it's so fun. I mean, stickers are so fucking funny, man.
But yeah, dude, I you know what I'm saying, as far as parenting, it's you do the best you can, man. It's like I forgot who I was reading. I was reading a book, and it said, all you can do is do the best you can in any situation. That's all that you can do. Like, people, no matter what decision you make, people are gonna judge you. If you don't cuss in front of your kids, or you're so overprotective. If you cuss in front of a kid, it's like, damn, man, you should be a little more reserved. you're a little too liberal there. You know, well, fuck, dude. I don't fuck my wife with the door open, motherfucker. Like, I don't do shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I love the extreme examples that you always give,
Well,
dude. It's always the extreme. It's
But
never like
because-
middle ground.
But you have to go to that extreme because people go to that extreme too. Look, dude, the worst people, some of the worst people I've ever met son esa gente que sean golpes de pecho. The worst.
Claro.
Absolute
Yeah,
worst, bro. Absolute worst human beings. They're mean to everybody. They're conniving. They're deceitful. They stab people in the back. They spread gossip, rumors, you know. And then you meet the person who says, I'm an atheist, and they're like the most loving person on the planet. Like they just don't believe in a God, but they don't do any harm to anybody. They don't talk about anybody. They mind their own business. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's no right or wrong, man. That's a fact.
Yeah. The more religious people tend to be very dark inside. It always happens, man.
Anyway,
listen, guys, I gotta go.
Yeah, I was gonna wrap this up, man. I know it's like 1:21 in the morning where you at. Yeah, so 1:19. So yeah, man, thanks for coming on, dude. I hope you come
thanks,
on.
Alex.
Well,
Nice meeting you, man.
Hey, you know what I was gonna ask
you? It's an honor, man.
Last question, Alex. Marin y Kall, where does the last name come from?
Wow, that's a long story.
Is it?
You know, when the Spanish came, you know, we have some of us have like composed surnames. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, I have Garcia Jurado. It's just one last name. That's my mom's first last name. My mom was Garcia Jurado Martinez.
Okay.
That's her name. Her first surname is Garcia Jurado. And Marin y Kall was the first last name of my father. My father was Jorge Marin y Kall Parra. That's his mother's name.
Okay.
But let me tell you this story. My grandfather, Ruben Marin y Kall, he was a radio DJ for the EseWey, the first radio station here in Mexico.
Yeah.
He had a show. He was like a big celebrity in radio back in the day. And his real name was Ruben Marin Barroso. But when he went famous, the people around him in radio said to him, you cannot be named just Marin. You need a bigger name, something big, something that sounds, brighter.
Yeah.
So he made up this Marin y Kall name. He made it up.
Oh, shit.
And that's the name he
adopted.
How do you say? No.
Se registró.
Trademarked.
Sus hijos.
Yeah. Oh, he registered his kids under that last name.
Yeah.
Oh,
so wow. It's a made-up artistic name that was born in the radio station, Marin y Kall.
That's
he made it up. Yeah, and it was born in the EseWey. So my surname is linked to the radio station, and it was made up because it was more like a stage name for my grandfather. And so we are the third generation of Marin y Kall.
Wow, that's
nice.
Crazy. Damn. Well,
so
I still like it way better though.
Yeah, it's easier because my whole name is Jorge Alejandro Marin y Kall Garcia Jurado. That's my.
God damn.
That's a good handle. Like super long. I like that though.
Holy shit, that's a lot. That's a handful. Don't do that to your
Two
daughter.
Names.
Man. Don't do that to your daughter, man. I hope.
No. Well, she's Hanna Marin y Kall Nedvedovich.
Yeah, Nedvedovich. Yeah, that's his wife's last name, Nedvedovich. So she's like Eastern European Jewish.
Yeah, Polish.
Yeah, Polish.
Oh, she was born over there?
No. She was born. She's third generation Jew from immigrants, but her father's side was from Poland and her mother's side was from Syria.
You're not Jewish, are you?
Oh my goodness!
You didn't convert.
Not.
You didn't convert, did you?
No.
So she left the faith. She's not Jewish. Wow.
She's very Jewish, but in a very cultural, not religious way. But she's very Jewish, you know.
So no Christmas.
I mean, we do celebrate Christmas, but more like because I was raised with that. It's more like the time when we go see the family, but it's not that we're celebrating Jesus in any way.
No Christmas tree, no nothing. That's Hanukkah.
I mean, yeah, we do both. Whatever is fun, whatever is good, whatever is. We go with her family for Rosh Hashanah sometimes, and we go sometimes for Pesach, and you know, in the beginning it was difficult because they didn't accept this marriage. It's not God's law, and it was 3 years that we just didn't speak to them. But now we both. I mean,
you proved yourself worthy, man. You proved yourself worthy. That's
and I mean, she doesn't have to stop being Jewish, and I don't have to be Jewish. We're just together, and we share whatever we love. We've been to Jerusalem a couple of times, and I love it, and I love Jewish culture. And my daughter, she's Jewish.
Yeah, because she was born from a Jewish woman.
Yeah, of course, and she's Jewish. She's going to be Jewish all her life.
Your grandkids will be Jewish. Yeah, your grandkids will be Jewish.
I just love that because I love Jewish culture.
So what you're saying is you still have an anteater.
A what?
An anteater.
That means you're not circumcised. He's saying you're not circumcised.
No, I'm not.
So, los animales que se comen las hormigas, ¿cómo se llaman? Que no tienen la nariz.
Sí.
They call them anteaters in English. They say, "Oh, you have an anteater."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, man. Alex.
No, but hang on really quick. But speaking about, I constantly mention this, Cisco, Syrian women. I have this thing that I think Syrian women are some of the most beautiful women in the world.
Oh, so, you got to go to Tel Aviv. In Israel, the most beautiful women in Tel Aviv.
Okay.
There you go. So put down your list, on your bucket list, dude.
Tel Aviv? Okay. Yeah, because ever since, I mean, I'm not trying to exploit the war or anything, but ever since they started bringing attention to the Syrian war, like back in 2007 or 8, like I was like, wow, look at all these women, look at all these refugee women, like they're freaking, they look great. Women.
Well, yeah, and what you have in Tel Aviv, it's like the mixture of all these Arab and European, and you have beautiful women and beautiful men as well. I mean, you go through the Tayelet, the beach in Tel Aviv, which is a beautiful Mediterranean beach, and you see some of the most beautiful people you'll see in your life.
Wow.
Both sexes, you know, it's beautiful. I mean, the women in Israel are beautiful.
Okay, right. Yeah.
What can I say?
Thank you, Alex. Muchas gracias.
Thanks, Alex.
Un abrazo. Oiga, fue un honor esta plática, me la pasé muy bien, qué chingón. Avísame cuando esté arriba para compartirlo y...
No, come on again, y para que vengas otra vez, dude. I mean, a veces
sí,
hacemos...
me encanta.
Sometimes we do 4 of us también, hacemos 4 and, you know, we just talk shit and try to talk about...
¿Tú también eres comediante, José?
No soy comediante, pero es que conocí a Cisco por el trabajo y pues me estaba diciendo que conozco a este comediante y tenía años haciendo diferentes, ¿cómo se dice? How you say shows.
Shows, escenas, viajando.
Escenas en diferentes como el Comedy Club.
Y no me creía el güey.
Y hasta que vi su foto en el Comedy Store, I was like, oh, pues conozco a este güey. And so, desde ahí, pues, me estaba introduciendo a todos sus diferentes amigos, what's it say, Jason Rouse, Eduardo...
we had Talavera, Escalante, Vallarta.
And todos buena onda, todos like, I love how smart and quick and witty and fast with the jokes they are, and I like that. I like that, you know, they're going to give me the dick jokes, and they're going to make me think, and make me try to like argue my point of view. I like that.
You know, I gotta tell you this because Carlos Vallarta is one of the, for me, it's like the biggest comedian in Mexico because, you know, Franco Escamilla is more famous.
Yeah.
He's done the Carnegie Hall. And you know, we have different kinds of famous comedians, but for me, Carlos Vallarta is like the most unique, intelligent, centered. I just like his comedy, and I like him because he's a really nice guy and very humble and very human.
Yeah.
And so we went to Germany. We went to the Oktoberfest. Did Horacio tell this story?
Horacio, no, he didn't tell me the whole story, but I know that you guys were in the street and people were yelling at you guys. Or something.
Tell me.
He said it on there.
Okay, we went into an Uber and we said to the guy, take us to a nice club. I don't know. We were going, I think we tried a place and we didn't get in for some reason. It was closed or something like that. And the guy said, I'm going to take you to the club. So have you seen these videos of people doing surf in a river in
Germany?
It's like a bridge, and the river, the current does these waves, and people surf. It's in Munich.
Okay, yeah, I've seen it.
So like 100 meters from that river, it's like the best club in Munich. It's like the nicest, and it was Oktoberfest. So there are 3 Mexican comedians, Horacio Almada, Carlos Vallarta, and myself, trying to get into the club, you know, surrounded with beautiful German and European people, and they are all coming for the after party for the Oktoberfest, and, you know, wealthy kids, you know, and we were trying to get in, and like the German doorman was like, just like that, you know, it's almost like you're not going in. And suddenly Horacio Almada takes out this 100 pesos bill. Have you seen that bill?
Yeah, the 100 pesos.
With the picture of Cuauhtemoc. Have you seen that? It looks like Carlos Vallarta.
Oh,
no, I haven't.
I have seen it. I have seen it. The red one. It's a red bill.
Yeah,
I keep thinking of the nun on the bill. I'm not sure.
No, let me show you. Is this one?
Yeah, because it's the red one.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, that one. Okay.
And what happened?
So it's Carlos with his long hair who looks like this guy. And Horacio, he's famous. He's a famous comedian in Mexico. He's in our bills, and he takes out the bill. And obviously he didn't buy it, the guy from the door, but he looks at Carlos and sees this big indigenous Mexican guy.
Carlos is tall.
He's tall, he's big, long hair. And he's like, he actually looks pretty cool. Go in. Come on. So we got in.
You gotta love stereotypes.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And 6 months after that, Louis C.K. is ringing Carlos Vallarta. Hey, you want to open my Metropolitan Theater?
Yeah.
Oh, it's some of the stories.
He told us. We talked about it, man. Yeah, that was crazy.
I love that guy. Well, see you later, guys. Thank you.
Hasta rato.
I had a good